It is 9:04 on Supertalk 99.7 WTN. My name is Chris Hand. Welcome in to the Hunger to Hope Radiothon for the Nashville Rescue Mission here on Supertalk. We are so excited to have you guys partner with us and bring resources to this great facility, the Nashville Rescue Mission, providing hope for today, hope for tomorrow, hope for eternity to the hungry, hurting, and homeless. That is the Nashville Rescue Mission. They've been doing this work here in Middle Tennessee since 1954, and since then they've been providing food, clothing, shelter to homeless men, women, and children. In fact, the mission serves 800 men, women, and children daily. We are so blessed to be able to help raise some money for this foundation, and we ask you to get involved. Joining me right now is somebody who answered the call to get involved. Adam of Columbia Sportswear of Brentwood. Welcome in to the program, Adam. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. We're happy to be here.
So what is it about the Nashville Rescue Mission that made you want to get involved?
I mean, I think in general, just, however we can get involved in the community. I mean, obviously walking in here today, seeing, people outside and stuff, it's just something that at Columbia, our mission is to, how can we keep people warm, dry, cool, and protected every day? I mean, whether it's customers or whether it's just the community and stuff, and we're just very involved in giving back to the community as much as we can.
Doesn't it pull at your heartstrings when you're walking in this morning and you see the kids waiting to get on the bus?
Yeah.
And you realize how much this facility actually does for the community. Like, it's not just the homeless guy on the street. It's the mother, it's the daughter, it's the sons, it's the entire family.
Yeah, I mean, even we were walking in and stuff and seeing them outside playing basketball and stuff, just seeing them, they're having a great time out there and, walking in and you just felt good, like walking in.
Just
seeing
being
the purpose.
Kids.
Yeah.
And seeing this facility give them an opportunity to just be kids is really tremendous.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
And they do it every single day here, and they serve, on average, 1,600 meals a day here.
Wow.
1,600 meals.
Yeah.
And that's for fathers and mothers and kids. And they can't do it without your help. That's why we need you to get involved with the Nashville Rescue Mission. What did you guys bring today? I noticed that you guys had a check that you brought with you, and you made a donation to the Nashville Rescue Mission. I want to say thank you so much for that. Why did you guys feel compelled to donate today?
Well, I mean, I think just, like I said, getting involved in the community. I mean, obviously we're in Brentwood, so Nashville is, super important to us being so close. And however we can, I mean, obviously corporate, we're based out of Portland, Oregon, but I do think that, like, we are just empowered to do whatever we can from a, single store standpoint to give back as much as possible.
It's incredible stuff. And the mission, they do give back. They provide a Christ-centered hope for eternity. And you listen to the stories of the people that have come through here, and it's restoring your faith in the city. We're in the shadow of the Batman building here in Nashville. It's a kind of a smaller building that you might not know all the hope that lives here if you just were walking by.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, 100% right. You see the skyline across the street, and you just don't know this place exists. And then when you hear what their purpose is, it's incredible. It's
unbelievable. The number to call and make a donation, 615-312-1500. 615-312-1500. We can't do it without you. And the Nashville Rescue Mission relies on your donations because they don't accept any money from the government. They don't take any government funding here. It's all in the community, and that's why we need you to get involved. 615-312-1500. Do you know that the Tuesday before Thanksgiving, so tomorrow, they're going to be frying 1,200 turkeys for families here?
Wow.
1,200 turkeys.
1,200.
I mean, as you're going towards Thanksgiving and you're thinking about, am I going to get this side? Am I going to get that side? Is Aunt Jane coming over? You should pause and reflect for a moment and realize there are some people here in this city that are worried about a lot more this holiday season. And they could really use your help. And that's why we're asking you to donate. They're frying 1,200 turkeys tomorrow. They have 1,600 meals that they serve on average a day. And they've been doing it since 1954, and they do it because of your help. 615-312-1500. Personally, I know people in my life that have dealt with addiction, that have gone through bouts of homelessness. I'm sure everybody has a story like that in their lives.
Yeah. No, definitely. Definitely.
And sometimes, like, people don't know where to go for help, but the Nashville Rescue Mission has been here for so long with their doors wide open for men, women, and children in this community. And it's why it's so important to not just pray for the people in this facility, for the staff, for the volunteers who we've heard in the phone bank who are answering your calls at 615-312-1500, but also to be able to give and donate and realize that, you know, what was a meal last year was right around $2, $2.26. Thank you, Kirby. $2.26 was the meal last year. This year it's $2.85. Inflation is hitting everybody, and those changes really are affecting this community a lot more in depth. It feels like, and it feels like we need to step up even more in this time, because there's kids out there that, I mean, I watched them get on the bus this morning. I watched these kids hop on the bus and head to school. When I took my tour here a few weeks back, they told me, you know, the buses are great because they pick up the kids here first and they drop them off last. So that way they're not dealing with, oh, you're living at the rescue mission from the other kids at school. Like they go above and beyond here every single day to help provide that hope, help provide those resources for these families, for these kids. You know, I have 4 kids myself, and God forbid you'd ever be in a situation like that. It's so nice to know that there's a center in Nashville that is looking out for those that are somewhat forgotten these days. And you know, thank you to you guys at Columbia of Brentwood for stepping up and hearing that call and answering it, and you know, showing up when we need you guys the most.
Yeah, we're proud. I mean, like I said, we're proud to be here today. I mean, thanks to the Nashville Rescue Mission for having us here, and we, like I said, just that small donation we could give as a company we're proud to give it.
It's truly appreciated, and you say small donation, but it's like every dollar makes a difference. When a meal is costing $2.85, $1 makes a massive difference. $2 makes a massive difference. Skip your coffee this morning and call in and make a donation at 615-312-1500. My mother-in-law actually just called and donated, so thank you, Jan, for calling in and donating. We really appreciate you. But we need more mother-in-laws to call in and donate, mothers, fathers, anybody. If you're listening to me, we need your help to keep the Nashville Rescue Mission going. 615-312-1500. Again, if you're waiting in line at Starbucks this morning as you're trying to go through the drive-thru, maybe this is the morning where you skip it. And instead of buying a $4 coffee, maybe you call in and send that $4 to the Nashville Rescue Mission at 615-312-1500. It seems small, but we're chipping away at a much larger goal here. We're trying to do something bigger than ourselves here. And the Nashville Rescue Mission does that every single day through the resources they provide, through the hope that they provide. And it's amazing what they do. Their life recovery program ministries, they're building new lives for these people. You can see God transforming people here at the Rescue Mission through the people that he's equipped with his skills to go out there and meet these people where they are and really help them turn their lives around. It's truly incredible watching what we're seeing here at the Rescue Mission. But we can't do it without you. 615-312-1500, 615-312-1500. And I keep hearing, do you guys keep hearing the phone bank back in the other room?
Yeah.
We're hearing clapping, we're hearing the bell ringing, but we need more ringing to be happening because, you know, the holidays are coming up. This is a hard time of year for a lot of people. And I know it might be a hard time of year for you, but just the smallest donation can make a difference. Not everybody has to call in and donate, you know, $5,000, $10,000, while we love those massive donations. But if we got, you know, 100 people donating $10, that makes a big difference, and we chip away at our larger goal, which is providing 44,000 meals for the Nashville Rescue Mission. And we're getting there. Slowly but surely, we're getting there. Dan in the morning show came in. They had a massive total of $76,000 and some change, and we're chipping away at this goal. But we need more, because while we do this once a year, the Nashville Rescue Mission does this 365 days a year. So it's always the holiday time where we feel the most generous, but we have to realize that these guys are going to be here in April. These guys are going to be here in June and in July and in August and all year long, every single day, providing for the people in this community that don't exactly have the hope that they need. The Nashville Rescue Mission is there to provide that hope. but we can't do it without you. 615-312-1500. 615-312-1500. 44,000 meals remains our goal, despite the rising cost of inflation, despite the fact that a meal used to cost the Nashville Rescue Mission $2.26, despite the fact that it's now $2.85, our goal remains 44,000 meals. And if you want to get involved, you want your small business to make a donation, we will gladly shout you out on the air. We throw out all formatics on a day like this, and we really put our focus on God and try to work through Him to move mountains here at the Nashville Rescue Mission. Dan Mandis is down in the phone bank, and are we making the phones ring, Dan? Is it sounding good down there? Oh, Dan's not listening.
He's too busy answering the phone, Chris. We got too many donations.
He's too busy answering the phones.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, yeah, there he is. What's going on, Dan, down at the phone bank? How are you, sir?
You know, it's kind of funny, these power buttons, these on-off buttons, not too complicated apparently for the host. But yes, they are ringing. And Matt has called in, Matt Mills in Cookeville, $2,000, Chris.
Wow.
And also $100
you,
from John Coleman in memory of my mother. Thank you, John, very much for that. And very much appreciated. 615-312-1500 is the phone number. So, folks, we got a whole room full of people that are waiting for your phone calls. We want to hear the bell ring. And there they go. Thank you, folks, for that. And, Chris, you're sounding great. And I'm just going to toss it right back to you.
615-312-1500 is the number to call. And if the phones aren't ringing, hopefully it's because you're texting. You can also text the word meals to 52236. That's meals to 52236. You can make a tribute gift. That's a donation in honor, memory of someone you love. You can do that at 615-312-1500. You can do a recurring gift, which is a monthly gift to the mission, and you can even give through PayPal. We are doing it as many different ways as we can for you to make it easy for you to give to the Nashville Rescue Mission, because it's so important that we provide hope to the hopeless today, and provide hope today, tomorrow, and for eternity to the hungry, hurting, and homeless here in the Nashville area. And the Nashville Rescue Mission does it every single day. They do it every single day. We do this once a year. They do it 365. So we have to support these guys and meet them where they are, and we see it, sadly, that the mission has to support more people these days. That there are no shortage of people that are asking the mission for help. It's so sad, and you think about it. We're asking $2.85 per meal. It doesn't sound like a lot. It doesn't. But it doesn't just provide a meal. It provides a hot shower. It provides a warm bed, dry socks, clean clothes, case management, these little things that we don't even think about. A clean pair of socks. I mean, if you've been walking around in dirty socks for days, it's like, the peace of mind that can give you, the peace of mind that a warm bed and a warm shower can give you. It's getting colder out here in Nashville. The demand is only going to grow at the Nashville Rescue Mission, and we need to be able to give them the resources to provide the hope that they provide every single day. 615-312-1500. Let's get those phones ringing for the Nashville Rescue Mission. 615-312-1500. You can also donate by texting the word meals to 52236. That's meals to 52236. I want to say thank you once again to our friends at Columbia Sportswear of Brentwood and Adam for their donation. You guys are truly incredible and inspirational, and we appreciate you partnering with us today. Once again, want to say thank you guys.
Yeah, no, thanks for having us today. I mean, we're honored to be giving back during the holiday season and helping out everyone in our community.
And what better place to give than the Nashville Rescue Mission? They give back to our community 365 days a year. We can make them the priority today. 615-312-1500. It is 9:19 on Supertalk 99.7 WTN. More from the Hunger to Hope Nashville Rescue Mission Radiothon next on Supertalk 99.7 WTN.
Graduated, say, man, you can do this. We did it. You can do it. It's beatable.
Billy and his family and counselors do see a bright future ahead.
Next for me, being clean and sober day, get into church, but I want to get into ministry, live a normal life, get married, and do the family thing.
Congratulations, Billy, on keeping the faith and staying on the path to sobriety.
From hunger to hope, you're listening to Supertalk 99.7's annual Nashville Rescue Mission Radiothon. Donate right now by calling the John Bouchard and Sons donation hotline, 615-312-1500. Operators are standing by. You can also text the word MEALS to 52236. That's MEALS to 52236. Thanks for listening and giving from all of us at WTN.
We are so eternally grateful for you partnering with us for the Hunger to Hope Nashville Rescue Mission Radiothon on Supertalk 99.7 WTN, presented by Mark Spain Real Estate and the Generator Superstore. My name is Chris Hand. Thank you for donating. 615-312-1500. We ask you to donate to the Nashville Rescue Mission today to help provide hope to the hopeless. It's truly God's work what they're doing here, and they do all things through Christ at the Nashville Rescue Mission, and I love that. I love their mission statement. I love that they lead with faith, because I feel like that's the only way to really make sustainable change. And sustainable change is something that they're focused on here at the Nashville Rescue Mission. When you donate to the Nashville Rescue Mission, you are donating and providing meals, providing a warm bed to sleep in, providing resources for kids that don't have much. You are. These things are all true, but what you're also donating to are life recovery programs for men and women who are struggling with these addictions, who are struggling with addiction to drugs, who are dealing with their own issues with alcohol, who have other life debilitating issues. They're provided with life recovery programs, and the mission provides job training for these people that are down and out and feel hopeless. The mission steps in, and they provide not only your resources to recovery, but then what the next steps are. And those next steps could look like computer classes. They could look like operations, maintenance classes, maybe helping somebody get their CDL license. The Nashville Rescue Mission is providing these routes to take a different professional path when they graduate the program. It's not just about providing a warm bed for one night. It's about a pathway to recovery and changing for the better. You hear the vignettes. We've been playing a lot of these vignettes. And Dan and Murphy did these interviews, and they did a great job. And it really drives home how important the work here is. But you hear these stories from a lot of people who society may have written off, but the Nashville Rescue Mission didn't. And the Nashville Rescue Mission didn't give up on these people. They provided them with help, hope, faith, skills, training. Now a lot of them work here at the mission. The mission also assists men and women who haven't graduated from high school. Maybe they don't even have their GED. The mission helps people with that. So when you see these young kids who are getting on the bus and heading to school from the Nashville Rescue Mission, it's sad, but you also have to realize it's really, really good. Because at the same time, where we could be down and out and say, wow, it's so sad that these kids are at the mission. Well, A, they have a place to stay, which is a blessing. And B, mom and dad are in there, and not only are they getting help with their addiction to drugs or alcohol or whatever they may be facing, but they're getting training for their next steps in life. So that way they can get back to focusing on being mom and dad and providing for their family. Because of the job training the mission provides. It's easy to say, you need to get off drugs. Well, what next? Well, the mission says, we'll tell you what's next. What's next is your CDL license. What next is computer classes. What's next is operations and maintenance classes and taking a different professional path as we move forward. What's next is getting your high school diploma or your GED. What's next are more classes and exams being taught by former teachers and engineers and professors right here at the Mission. And the Mission, along with supportive donors, they cover the costs of all of this. But you really cover the cost of all this. You really provide this training and this next step for people who have been addicted to drugs, for people who are trying to get their family back together, their life back on track. You provide that. And we thank you for that. We thank you for your donations at 615-312-1500, 615-312-1500. We thank you for your text messages donating by texting the words meals to 52236. That's meals to 52236. This program can't happen without you. This program can't happen without the community. It just can't. The Mission doesn't rely on government funding. I'll say that again. The Mission doesn't rely on government funding. The government isn't coming to help these people. The Mission is. The Mission is. Over 73% of the Mission's funds are given directly from people like you. 3/4 out of every dollar are given to the Mission from people like you. It's your support that keeps the Mission going. It's your support that has kept the Nashville Rescue Mission in business since they opened their doors in 1954. Your gift makes an immediate impact in helping the lives of homeless. Immediately. So we ask you again to donate today, 615-312-1500. You don't have to donate a lot. A little will go a long way. Just $2.85 provides a meal here at the Mission. Just $2.85. Less than what it will cost you for an iced coffee this morning. Less than what it'll cost you going out for lunch. Much less.
And that's all it is, Chris. I mean, that's exactly right. I mean, you substitute that coffee for whatever they have at your work, or maybe instead of going out to lunch, you go home and make a sandwich. I mean, that's multiple meals, multiple hot showers, fresh pairs of socks. Just doing those two simple things. Imagine if you did even more.
Oh, it's unbelievable. And like you said, it's a hot shower, it's a warm bed, clean clothes. Like, we take so many of these things for granted. We just we don't really appreciate these things until you don't have them. And I'll tell you what, if you need a hot shower, if you need clean clothes, clean socks, that in and of itself will feel like a small miracle. And the Nashville Rescue Mission is providing those small miracles every single day. 615-312-1500 to donate. 615-312-1500. Again, $2.85 provides a meal. But so much more, like Max said, a hot shower, a warm bed, dry socks, clean clothes. It's getting colder out there. There's going to be more people that are looking to the Nashville Rescue Mission for help, and we want the Nashville Rescue Mission to be ready to answer those calls. So we need you to call first, 615-312-1500. 615-312-1500. We all know somebody who's dealt with addiction. We all know somebody who has dealt with alcoholism. We all know these people. And there's places like this that exist to help people get their lives back on track. But again, we can't help these people until we help the Nashville Rescue Mission. 615-312-1500 to donate, or text the word meals to 52236. That's the word meals to 52236. Skip the coffee this morning. Skip going out to breakfast this morning. Skip going out to lunch. And instead donate that money to the Nashville Rescue Mission today. Let's make a difference right here in Nashville. 615-312-1500. Right now, the news on Supertalk 99.7 WTN.
$9:30 on the dot this Monday morning. I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Got a crash, Ellington Parkway southbound before Cleveland Street, and then 24 westbound right before Bell Road. You've got a stalled vehicle and the right lane is blocked. Full forecast in 2 minutes. Ahead of the approaching holidays and a potential rise in cases this winter, the Biden administration once again allowing households to order a fresh wave of free COVID-19 tests if you want them. U.S. households can now order 4 more free COVID tests, get them shipped right to your door through the website covidtests.gov. That's tests plural. Israeli Defense Forces are battling with Hamas militants outside of a second hospital in northern Gaza. 12 people killed when an apparent airstrike hit that hospital overnight. There are 700 people inside. That's the latest news. Traffic and weather next. And so was the Nashville Rescue Mission Radiothon. Call the John Bouchard and Sons. The John Bouchard and Sons donation hotline, 615-312-1500. You can also text the word meals to 52236. That's 52236. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News.
Hey, what's going on? It's Chris Hand from my friend Jan Whitfield in Dental Plans with Jan. Listen, in this time, if you're owning a small business, I know employee turnover has got to be hard for you. And it doesn't matter what kind of business you own, salons, landscape, daycare, moving companies, any business you may own. I'm sure you understand how hard it is for employee turnover and retaining your employees. Well, one way that could make a big difference in retaining your employees, maybe some dental and vision plans. Maybe that's the difference between your employees looking for employment elsewhere or sticking with you. Well, if you need good, affordable dental and vision plans for your employees, there's only one place to look, dentalplanswithjan.com. Jan Whitfield will get you completely hooked up. It's a great way to retain your employees, make them feel valued and appreciated. Plus, it's easy, affordable, and these are reputable dental plans. It's a win-win for you and your employees. And the average cost is right around $27 to $39 a month. I mean, it's not much, depending on what benefits they're looking for and how many employees you have enrolled in your plan. And you can add your spouse. You can add dependents. You can do all sorts of different things. And it only takes 15 minutes to figure out the right plan for you and your company by calling Jan Whitfield. 615-974-9655. 615-974-9655. Get your dental plan with Jan Whitfield. Dentalplanswithjan.com. Supertalk 99.7 WTN. It is the Hunger to Hope Radiothon benefiting the Nashville Rescue Mission. My name is Chris Hand. We thank you, everyone calling in and donating at 615-312-1500. I'm hearing the phones ringing from the phone bank, which is always a good sign when the phones are ringing from a little bit farther away. So I appreciate you guys. Dan Mandis is back there in the phone bank now. Do we have any updates, Dan?
We are rapidly trying to update everything. We've got a lot of donations coming in, Chris. So
this is a good problem to have. Then
it is a very good problem to have. I mean, the phones have been ringing off the hook. 615-312-1500. This is your first year, Chris. So you don't you've never been back here for any length of time. But the tabulating is always so incredibly difficult, just because there's so many pieces of paper flying. back and forth. But we will get a total for you here in a little bit, but just keep the phones ringing, folks, 615-312-1500.
Perfect. Well, I mean, like I said, it's a good problem to have when we're trying to tabulate and see how much we're raising. I hear the cheers from back there, so we thank you to all of our volunteers, and we thank everybody to calling in and donating at 615-312-1500, 615-312-1500. It is the Hunger to Hope Radiothon. We are so grateful that this mission doesn't rely on government funding. We're so grateful that they're supported by the community and by people like you at 615-312-1500. This whole program here at the Nashville Rescue Mission is centered through the Lord. It's centered through faith in Jesus Christ. Everyone is redeemable through him, and that's one of the big points here at the Nashville Rescue Mission is your life can be redeemed. And it's step by step. It's hard work, and it's hard work for the people that are going through, and it's hard work for the people that are providing that work. But they provide so much. The mission provides job training, computer classes, CDL licenses, training and maintenance and operations, and we're so grateful for that work that they do. Yep, and we're joined now by CEO of Lifeway.
That's right.
The CEO of Lifeway. Introduce yourself for everyone. Welcome to the program.
Great to be here. Yeah, I'm Ben Mandrell. I've been serving as president of Lifeway Christian Resources for about 4.5 years, and we are a huge supporter and partner for the mission.
So why do you guys feel that the mission is such an important role, has such an important role in the community here?
Well, every time I serve here, it's obvious that the people who do this work are very called to it, committed. They do great work. My family is on their way right now. We're going to be serving a meal today.
Cool.
And there's just a great sense of respect for people who have given their life to help the needy. It's just an amazing ministry.
Yeah. So how does it speak to your faith when you see what's going on inside these walls here?
Well, I'm grateful for the people who genuinely feel like their lives are rooted here in the city. When I come in as an outsider, it's an intimidating experience to come into an environment where there are people who are so well trained on how to love on those who are in need, and not just, as you just said, not just give them a meal, but help them think through the next steps of their life and to move forward.
Well, and that always weighs so heavy on me because a lot of times with addiction, you see relapses, you see people kind of fall into that same cycle over and over where you'll get clean for a little bit and then you kind of fall back into old habits. And it seems like the work that they're doing here at the Nashville Rescue Mission, they're really focused on eliminating those falling back into old habits. Let's make new habits.
Yeah.
Let's make a new path and a new future for you.
Yeah, it's that old Chinese proverb about give a man to fish, he eats for a day. Teach a man to fish, he eats for a lifetime.
Yep.
When I come to the mission, I see lifetime kind of fishing. I see programs that are being developed to help people break the cycle of poverty and not just get the meal they need for that day. And it's just a blessing to partner with the mission. Our organization, we have 700 employees. And we not only have a fund where employees can give a portion of their paycheck to give to a good cause like the Nashville Rescue Mission, but they can also, with their teams, come and serve at the mission.
Wow.
And I just want to encourage everybody out there, if you've never had a chance to come and serve at the Nashville Rescue Mission, they do such an amazing job of teeing it up so that you walk into an experience that's ready to go and well prepared.
And you said your whole family's coming down here
That's right.
to serve a meal. So how old are your kids?
I have 3 high school boys and a college-age daughter who won't be able to join us today because she's at school. But, we just, every time we do it, we walk away with the blessing.
So I have young kids, and it pulls on my heart to get down here and serve a meal. But what age did you start bringing your kids to serve those meals?
For us, it was only recently because we've only been in Nashville for 4 years.
Okay.
So the last couple of years, we've served 3 or 4 times. And we've done some other work in town. But, it takes organization. I'm glad my wife is a good planner because you got to get it on the calendar and you got to make it happen because nobody just, gets up one day and decides to serve.
Well, it's like it's one of those things where, like, I want to bring my kids down here to kind of, spread the word of Jesus and put their faith in action. But you can ask the employees around here. It's not always the easiest place to be. There's a lot of pain inside these walls. There's a lot of hurt.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of healing that needs to happen.
Yeah, I mean, as you're standing there handing out the meals, you're making eye contact with folks who are walking by, and you can just sense the pain, and you can sense the struggle. But if we really are believers of Jesus, Jesus didn't run away from pain. He walked into the painful places, spent time with people who are walking through suffering. So in a way, it's an antidote too for the sense of entitlement that we just begin to feel as Americans because we have more money than the rest of the world.
Yeah. No, I totally get where you're at. Well, this foundation, this mission here, it's critical to the city. And it's critical that you get involved, and we ask that you donate 615-312-1500. Listen, you don't have to donate a lot. Just $2.85 is the cost of one meal, just $2.85. And that's gone up because of inflation, just like everything else. But our goal today is 44,000 meals. 44,000 meals. And we can do it with you. And it's showing. I mean, we have donations rolling in. Our latest total right now is $82,651.
Wow.
That's incredible. $82,651. We have provided 29,000 meals, but we can't take our foot off the gas. 29,000 meals is not our goal. Our goal is 44,000 meals. And I want to blow this goal out of the water. It's a time of year where we can really hyper-focus on giving back to the community, and it's a time of year where we can all kind of make that sacrifice. So if you're waiting in line for Starbucks today, if you're waiting in line for Dunkin' Donuts, just skip it and send that money towards us instead. 615-312-1500. We have Sharon in Murfreesboro. She made a great donation, and we're very grateful for her. Donating $25. Thank you for that. We're thankful to the Christ Miracle Chapel Church donating $1,000. God bless you guys, and thank you so much for that. Daniel Jones donated $50. Tim donated $25, and we are so grateful for every dollar that comes into the Nashville Rescue Mission. Every dollar goes further than you could ever imagine, and every dollar counts. 615-312-1500. As a believer in Christ, when you walk through these walls, does any scripture come to your mind when you see what's going on here at the Rescue Mission?
Well, I mean, sure, the teachings of Jesus of whatever you've done for the least of these, you've done for me, for sure. And then, this time of year, just being grateful. The things we take for granted every day. A warm house and some firewood on the fire and a Christmas tree that's lit up and family. When you spend time with those who are walking through life without it, you begin to realize just how important those things are, those basic necessities of life. So Jesus just always warned us to not be anxious about anything, but be thankful in everything. There's a lot of good biblical connections down here.
So there was a study where it said, there's a Bible verse, if you're thankful for me, you won't be anxious. There's a study that says that the part of your brain where you're being grateful and thankful is the same part of your brain that causes anxiety. So you quite literally can't do both at the same time. You can't be anxious if you're thankful and grateful to the Lord.
Yep.
And I don't know what better way to feel thankful and grateful to the Lord than realizing you do have something to give. You can make a difference in this world, and you can do that right now by donating 615-312-1500, 615-312-1500. You can give a little or you can give a lot. It will all go to the cause. So far, we've hit almost 29,000 meals, and we're looking to provide 44,000 meals. And the $285 is the cost of a meal. But there's so much more. You mentioned, kind of taking for granted what we have. It's like I took for granted socks this morning.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like when I'm running around my house trying to get ready, I got frustrated. I'm thinking like I don't have a pair of socks that match. And it's like, how spoiled am I when there's people out there that are going to get a clean pair of socks today from the Nashville Rescue Mission, and that's going to be a blessing. Mm-hmm. It's going to be such a gift. Like, we have these first world problems sometimes where you don't realize a hot shower is such a nice blessing.
Well, and you also realize everybody has a story. All of us think that we've arrived at this place on our own and we're self-made people, but the truth is any one of us could have gone down the wrong road or experienced mental illness or something we didn't see coming, and all of a sudden we're on the street. And so don't ever think that we're above needing help.
Amen.
And what I love about the Nashville Rescue Mission is how they do it in such a dignified way. And they treat everybody like they're a fellow human being on the journey.
Yeah.
And, these meals make a difference. They really do.
They do. And it's only $2.85 to provide a meal. If you skip your morning coffee, if you're sitting in a drive-thru right now, you skip your morning coffee, you can provide a meal and you'd have some left over. We ask that you give more. 615-312-1500. 615-312-1500. Again, before the mission can even begin to offer hope to someone who's homeless or hungry, they need to make sure that all of this person's most basic needs are met. And it starts with a meal, followed by emergency services like shelter and clothing, and then they get to encouragement and hope for the future through faith in Jesus Christ. And we ask that you pray on this. Ask yourself how much you can give to the Nashville Rescue Mission today. Pray on it. We're going to be doing this all day long till about 7 o'clock. Pray on it. Ask God how much you can give. 615-312-1500. $10 goes a long way, especially if you see the little faces that I saw waiting for the bus this morning outside the Nashville Rescue Mission. You realize how much good this center is doing. You realize how much hope this center is providing. And you can be a part of that story. You can be a part of that journey, and you can be a part of that blessing and that giving. 615-312-1500. 615-312-1500. We're so grateful to Lifeway Christian Services and all that you guys do, partnering with the mission and providing resources and everything you do. Thank you so much for joining us
You're
today.
welcome.
We really appreciate it. And we really appreciate the Nashville Rescue Mission. And we appreciate you donating at home. 615-312-1500. The mission, again, they do a lot. Thanks so much, man. Appreciate you. They do so much. This is the meal is just step one. The warm bed, that's early stuff, and it's so important. But after that warm bed, after that meal, then the mission goes into overdrive, and they work on job training, computer classes, operations classes, maintenance, CDL licenses. All these avenues they provide to individuals to take a different path, to get back into the workforce, to have that self-worth, have that self-respect. That the mission helps people get their GED if they didn't get their high school diploma. They provide classes from teachers and engineers and professors, and the mission does all of this because of you. You help them cover the cost of all of this. You help them remove these economic barriers that might otherwise prevent someone from pursuing a diploma. You help them radically transform their lives at the Nashville Rescue Mission. So we're eternally grateful to you. We're so blessed to be able to do this here on Supertalk 99.7 WTN today. When I first got to the station and started working here, one of the things that I looked forward to was this Radiothon, to be able to make this difference in the community, this small difference that I can make. You're making the big difference. You're the one out there donating and providing these meals. So we're truly, truly thankful to you. 615-312-1500. 615-312-1500. We ask that you donate as much as you can. And you know what? If you can't give a monetary donation, there's ways to get involved and donate your time and resources in other ways. Every donation makes a difference. It's just $2.85 to provide a meal at the Nashville Rescue Mission. We want to provide 44,000 of them. So make your donation today. 615-312-1500, 615-312-1500, or you can text the word MEALS to 52236. That's MEALS to 52236. It's the Hunger to Hope Radiothon live on Supertalk 99.7 WTN, benefiting the Nashville Rescue Mission. It's the Hunger to Hope Radiothon live on Supertalk 99.7 WTN. My name is Chris Hand. Thank you, everyone, for donating at 615-312-1500. We have a goal today of 44,000 meals. We are getting we're inching closer and closer to that goal. Joined now by the one and only Dan Mandis, who have you been phone banking?
Sort of. Yeah, I had some people that called up and wanted to chat with me on the phone. So I'm happy to talk to anybody. I don't care how much money it is, big or small. I'll talk to anybody because that's just kind of what I do.
I feel like we should set a minimum on talking to Dan.
Sure, $5. I'll talk to anybody.
Perfect.
Whatever, man.
I feel like you're selling yourself short. I feel like we could get that to like $250.
Let's see here. So I want to thank a few people. Mary called up, and she has made a $500 donation.
Wow. Thank you, Mary.
In honor of Phil Valentine. Thank you, Mary. And Dave called, and he has donated $100. So thank you, Dave, for that. And I spoke to a woman named Sharon. One of the reasons why I really like doing this is because it brings out the absolute best in humanity, right? And so, and we have, I believe, the best listeners. And a woman named Sharon called, and she's got a special needs son, and she doesn't make a lot, and she spends a lot, because of the special needs situation. Single mom as well. It's just a touching story. But she has given $25 in memory of my mom.
Wow.
So thank you, Sharon.
Thank you, Sharon.
Very appreciated.
But that goes such a long way when it's $2.85 a meal. $25 goes a heck of a long way.
It does. Absolutely.
It makes a big difference,
especially in times of inflation. And we have a new total here, and the total is $84,806.91.
All right, here we go, $84K.
That is 29,757 meals. And here's the thing, is that a lot of these are $100, $25 donations. So a lot of people are giving donations. And so whether it's 25, 50, 75, $100 does not matter. They all add up. And I'll go back to, Sharon, a struggling single mom with a son who has special needs, and she gave $25, and I will forever remember the phone call that I had with Sharon off the air. So
we're eternally grateful, Sharon. Thank you so much. I did want to ask you something. So what you're talking, a lot of people are donating in honor of Phil. And one of the things that stood out to me when I was a listener of this station was how much Phil cared about the Nashville Rescue Mission.
Yeah.
And how much this really was, something he full-throated supported. He felt like he couldn't say enough nice things about the mission. Why do you think this place was so special to Phil?
I think he had been in Nashville for a long time, and he had been around the block, of course, and so he recognized through his travels how special the rescue mission is. He recognized, especially with its focus on the things that I talked about this morning, the refusal to accept government funding, which is right up Phil Valentine's alley.
Yep.
And also the Christ-centered philosophy here. Both of those are very true to Phil Valentine and who he was. And so I think that's a big part of why not only Phil full-throated supported the mission, but me too, and everyone else who knows the intricacies of the mission.
Well, I remember listening to those radiothons as a listener, with my listener ears on, and I remember Phil saying it's a hand up, not a handout, and that always stuck with me.
Well, the thing that I love about the mission, and there's so many things that I love about the mission, but the job training. Yep. I am such a huge proponent of training to be something. Like, I'm not a big fan of colleges, but I mean trade schools and that kind of a thing. Well,
they answer the question of what do you do next?
Yeah, and that's what they do. They do answer that question as to what is next. So they give you the foundation here at the mission. They give you walk in, you are addicted and homeless. You walk out, you have a purpose, you have a mission, you have a direction. And I think that is such a huge part of what the mission does, and that's why people need to donate.
Yeah, and without that next step, that's when relapse comes in.
That's true.
That's where those pitfalls come in. And that training, that job training, is also where your donations go. And that next step, providing that next step, the Nashville Rescue Mission is so good at it. So we ask you to call in and donate. 615-312-1500. 615-312-1500. Every dollar makes a difference. Every single dollar. 615-312-1500. The Nashville Rescue Mission, $2.85 will provide a meal today. $2.85. It doesn't sound like a lot. But there's more than just the meal. There's the warm bed. There's the clean clothes. There's so much more, a warm shower. These things go so far. But it starts with that meal. It starts with that $2.85 we're asking from you to provide a meal. So far, we've provided 29,757 meals. And we feel so blessed to be able to be just a small part of what the Nashville Rescue Mission does here. And I know that you feel that too. But we need to do more. Our goal is 44,000 meals. Our goal is so attainable with your help. 615-312-1500. That's the number to call and donate. 615-312-1500. Or you can text, if you don't want to call, text the word meals to 52236. That's meals to 52236. It is 10 o'clock on Supertalk 99.7 WTN. From the Hunger to Hope Radiothon at the Nashville Rescue Mission, it's Supertalk 99.7.
10 o'clock on the dot this Monday morning. I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Tell you about the potentially problematic weather trying to get to your Thanksgiving Day holiday destination during the full forecast in 2 minutes. The Thanksgiving travel rush is on, and Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg says so far airlines are doing better than last year's cancellation nightmare.
It's much lower than last year. It's lower even than before the pandemic, which translates to millions more people getting to home or getting to work or getting to their loved ones as expected.
Yeah, tomorrow and Wednesday expected to be among the busiest holiday travel days of the year. Former President Trump has won an endorsement after a weekend trip to the southern border.
Texas Governor Greg Abbott has a base of support that overlaps Donald Trump's, and so it wasn't unexpected to hear Abbott say,
"We need Donald J. Trump back as our president of the United States of America."
Appearing alongside Abbott at the airport in Edinburgh, Texas, Trump said everything becomes obsolete except
Wheels and walls, they work, and we don't need the wheels, we just need the walls.
Trump has vowed to continue border wall construction if he's reelected.
That's Jim Ryan reporting. Israel-Hamas war update. Israeli Defense Forces battling with Hamas militants outside of a second hospital in northern Gaza. And remembering Rosalind Carter, the former First Lady, dying Sunday at 96. She and former President Jimmy Carter married for 77 years, the longest of any U.S. presidential couple. Carter proposing in 1945, but she initially turned him down.
It was wartime. But I had promised my father on his deathbed that I would finish college. He had never been able to go to any kind of college, but he was persistent, and I gave in.
Now the funeral for Rosalind Carter scheduled for next Wednesday. That's the latest news. Traffic and weather are next, and so is the Nashville Rescue Mission Radiothon. Call the John Bouchard & Sons donation hotline at 615-312-1500. You can also text the word meals to 52236. That's 52236. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News.
Hey, it's Chris Hand from my friends at Paul Winkler Inc. I didn't have a financial plan for my future until I linked up with Paul and his team, and I am so glad I did. One of the reasons why is Paul and his team hold themselves to a higher level of fiduciary standard than is required. And because of that standard that they hold themselves to, I got to tell you, I'm paid every time this commercial airs, and that's the truth. But that's not why I'm a client. I'm a client because Paul and his team were able to explain to me a financial plan in a way that I could understand it. They could provide to me investment education that was backed by Nobel Prize-winning research. They bring the receipts for their education, and nothing Paul's team does is done on commission. So you can be sure when they tell you a decision to make for you, it is for you and not for them, because nothing is done on commission. If you don't have a financial plan for your future in these uncertain economic times, if you are relying on Social Security in the future, I got news for you. It may not be the best plan, but Paul Winkler and Paul Winkler Inc. can come up with a fantastic plan for you and your financial future. Paul is a smart guy. He knows the financial world better than I do, and he can break it down for you in a way that you can understand. So you should check these guys out. Every single office is run by a degreed planner with over 20 years of experience, and you can feel the difference between Paul's team and the rest because of that experience. So do what I did. Talk to one of his team members today. Set up a complimentary 15-minute phone call on his website, paulwinkler.com. That's paulwinkler.com, or call 615-851-1950. It is 10:06 on Supertalk 99.7 WTN. My name is Chris Hand. Welcome in to our Hunger to Hope Nashville Rescue Mission Radiothon. We do it once a year here on Supertalk. This is my first year being a part of it. The past few years I have watched and listened, much like you listened. Supertalk TV wasn't here before, but I listened every single year, just like you did. And I'm so grateful to be a part of this, and I am so grateful to further this mission that Nashville Rescue Mission is doing. And I'm also super excited to announce that just started at 10 a.m., Xander Insurance is matching all donations this hour. You heard me correctly. Xander Insurance is matching your donations. So when you call in at 615-312-1500, you make a call in to the John Bouchard and Sons donation hotline, 615-312-1500. It will be matched by Xander Insurance. So your $5 becomes 10, your 10 becomes 20 down the line. Xander Insurance is matching your donations. Call now, 615-312-1500, 615-312-1500. My name is Chris Hand, and I'm joined now by Joy Flores, who's staff here at the Nashville Rescue Mission. Hey, Joy, how are you?
How's it going? Thanks for having me.
I'm good. I'm so excited to talk to you. Tell me why Nashville Rescue Mission is so important.
Well, not only are we the largest homeless shelter in Middle Tennessee, I think everything we do based on the gospel really brings true life transformation. So it's just an honor to be a part of our team and watch people come in so broken. So many of our guests have just complex childhood trauma for lots of reasons: abandonment, neglect, hard life choices, you name it. But to see them come in and surrender their lives to Christ and allow Him to rebuild them, to participate in all of our classes that we offer, everything obviously completely free, which is why today is such an awesome day.
Well, and I've noticed something among all the staff here. You guys don't deal with the easiest stuff on your day-to-day. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
I think
sure.
that's to put it lightly, right?
Absolutely.
You deal with some dark stuff. But I've noticed that a lot of you guys have a contagious joy about you. And I wonder where that comes from and how you guys keep that joy and that happiness throughout the whole staff.
Yeah, the culture here is pretty remarkable. I would definitely say that takes work. Caring for our staff is really important to us. Finding margin for them so they're not burnt out. Knowing when to tap in to help each other, when to tap out when you're spent. That supernatural grace and patience is so real. But I think a lot of us have a personal testimony. Homelessness has affected us in some way, shape, or form, whether that's someone in our community or someone in our family. And when you have that deeper conviction and you see true life transformation happening right before your eyes, there's a little bit of an addiction there to good. And so it's fun to participate in that.
Are there any stories that stick out to you from your time at the Nashville Rescue Mission that says, this is where your dollars go, this is the change that you can affect?
Well, I've only been here for 3 months, so I'm new too. But I think every Okay, so this is a great story. The other night, Lifeway Women's had a taping for an Advent special, and they invited 12, 15 of our women in our recovery program. And we were honored guests, and they had, reserved tables for us and incredible appetizers. And for that community to welcome in not only our guests, our participants in our life recovery program, but see even just the other women who were there for that evening really just embrace. It was normalized. It wasn't them and us. We didn't get weird looks, and our women just had an incredible night. And to see just an opportunity for them that they maybe have never had before to be part of a taping, and it's fun, and the word was awesome, and the worship was amazing.
Yeah.
And to watch us all enter into the presence of God, the ground at the foot of the cross is even.
I love that.
Yeah.
And everybody's redeemable through Christ.
Totally.
It's like no mistake is too big. You can totally be redeemed through Christ, and I think that you see the testimony within these walls.
Yeah.
Just walking through, and you see so many people that have come through here have then worked here.
Yeah, that's really the true full circle moments especially when you've been able to see those folks come in that first day for their intake. Maybe they have a backpack, maybe they have nothing. And to see them, just those basic first immediate, those emergency services, those immediate needs, getting them something to eat, getting them a shower, getting them clean clothes, clean underwear and socks, things that restore dignity that we don't even think about. In our privilege and in our, comfortableness, we don't realize how horrible it is to be wearing the same pair of socks when they've been wet and dried over and over. Those small acts of kindness really go a long way as we build trust with them. I think that's the real key. The secret sauce of transformation is when you walk with someone consistently and give them accountability, they start to trust you. And as they trust you, you can offer them that next step. So maybe it's, hey, let's go to the dining room together and have lunch together. And then it's, hey, I saw you blow up in explosive anger. Maybe you should try our anger management class or parenting tips. And so I think it's really fun to just watch the progression, especially being a holistic place in our transformation. We really do look at the whole person, not just their soul and their body, but their mind, their emotions, their all of those different needs, from even financial needs. Financial literacy and things like that, so that we don't see them again.
And that's why your donations are so important. Please call the John Bouchard & Son donation hotline, 615-312-1500. Zander Insurance are matching all donations this hour. Zander Insurance matching all donations this hour, 615-312-1500. 615-312-1500. It's $2.85 to provide a meal, but that $2.85, like we were saying, doesn't just provide a meal. There's so much more here, from a hot shower, a warm bed, dry socks, clean clothes. There's so much that goes into what you guys do here. I went downstairs on my tour, and I see that room that has all of the clothes that you guys provide to people that need new clothes. And you don't think about, wow, that's probably pretty important to somebody that's coming off the streets.
Totally. And those are all donated, right? It's the people of Nashville are incredible. They're so incredibly generous. And so all of those donations, and that's a good point. There's a lot of people who their hearts have been moved with compassion. They want to give back. And so maybe they clean out their closet and then they go try to find some people on the street and give them those clothes. But what happens is that they don't maybe know the size of those folks, or the size of shoes that they need, or maybe they don't need socks, but they need a jacket, or they don't need a jacket, they need underwear. So when we start asking those questions and leading with relationship
control back over,
right,
and giving people the opportunity to succeed and think about the next steps in life, and think about, okay, getting sober is step one, getting clean is step one. What do I do next so that way I don't relapse?
Right. Or even staying alive.
Amen.
When you're so dysregulated and you're in survival mode, you can't think of the 50 million things that it's going to take you to get out of homelessness.
Yep.
You're just trying to literally stay alive.
Yeah, it's like, what decision can I make next that will be positive in my life? And you guys kind of jump in and help them say, this decision would be more
Right.
positive.
Right. Or just even offering them the opportunity, especially when it's completely free of charge.
It's truly amazing what you guys are doing here. And again, for the next hour, Xander Insurance is matching all the donations that you make to the John Bouchard and Sons donation hotline, 615-312-1500. You can also text the word meals to 52236. That's meals to 522-236. You can make these gifts in tribute, a donation in honor, memory of someone you support or love. We're happy to read those on the air for you. You can give through PayPal, and you have to remember that what you're doing is truly moving mountains for so many people here in Middle Tennessee. What this place does by leaning on the Word and leaning on Christ and trying to make a wholesale transformation is truly remarkable. It really is.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of places that will also lean in on the faith aspect, lean in on food and shelter and the kids.
Right.
The kids really jumps out to me.
Yeah, it's so hard.
What's been the hardest part for you getting used to working here?
I mean, when we talk about the kids, I think that's where it really becomes, you realize the vastness of homelessness and generational poverty and these strongholds that have been in some of these families for generations. How do you combat that and really holistically change the next generation, to break those chains and to see these kids have access to something different, maybe something that they've never seen before? Yeah, I love working here. I was on Skid Row in LA before, and so I feel like the darkness is extremely dark there.
Yeah.
The vastness of homelessness is so out of control, where here feels, you know what? It feels a little bit more manageable. It feels like we can actually solve this. I think that's my hope in being in Nashville, is that we can get everybody to the table and we can really solve this.
Well, I love the hope that you guys are creating here, and the hope that you're bringing to the table for a lot of these people that do feel hopeless. And we ask that you join us on this road to helping the Nashville Rescue Mission, helping so many people. For the next hour, Xander Insurance is matching all donations to the John Bouchard and Sons donation hotline, 615-312-1500, 615-312-1500. We have a goal today of 44,000 meals. At last check, we were at almost 30,000 meals.
Let's go.
It's really amazing that we're not even at noon yet, and we're almost there. I feel like this is exactly the type of cause that the community around Middle Tennessee will stand up and say, I want to support that.
Yeah.
This is the kind of cause where you can look at it. It's not a handout. It's a hand up. And that $285 for one meal also gives a hot shower, a warm bed, dry socks, clean clothes, case management, an entire support system. It helps them down that journey towards the next step in your life, where relapse won't be an option, because you're going to be working. You're going to have your CDL license. You're going to be trained in computer classes, operations, maintenance. All of these next steps the Nashville Rescue Mission has thought out. And they know exactly where they want to put your dollars to work. You're not just throwing money at a cause, you're throwing money at a purpose. And that's what they're doing here at Nashville Rescue Mission. That's why we're here for the Hunger to Hope Radiothon at the Nashville Rescue Mission, and that's why we are asking you to donate. And again, all donations this hour matched by Xander Insurance. Your $10 becomes $20, your $20 becomes $40. Call the John Bouchard and Sons donation hotline, 615-312-1500. It's 1020 on Supertalk 99.7 WTN. It's Supertalk 99.7 WTN from the Hunger to Hope, the Nashville Rescue Mission Radiothon happening live here at the Nashville Rescue Mission. My name is Chris Hand. I do have a challenge. The Christ Miracle Chapel Church donated $1,000, and they are challenging all other churches to match their donation. And again, all donations this hour are matched by Xander Insurance. So if you're a church out there and you donate $1,000, that becomes $2,000. And we ask you to call into the John Bouchard and Sons donation hotline, 615-312-1500. That's 615-312-1500. My name is Chris Hand. I'm joined now by Chad Custer of Nelson Mazda. Welcome, Chad.
Hey, Chris. Glad to be here.
I'm so excited you're here. Not only are you a donor and a supporter of the Nashville Rescue Mission, but you're also a sponsor of the Big Turkey Fry tomorrow.
Yeah, we're in all the fun. Yes, sir. God gets all the glory. We're excited to be a part of it.
Amen, amen. So why is it so important for you to be involved with the Nashville Rescue Mission?
Well, I mean, gosh, there's several reasons for it. I mean, they are just at the heartbeat of Nashville. And so giving it's probably one of the most important things we do. We're all called to do something in our life, whether it be serve, counsel. We're called to give. And so we're trying to be obedient. And what better place to give than the Nashville Rescue Mission?
I mean, it's amazing when you see what they're doing. They ask for $2.85 provides a meal.
Yeah.
But then, I mean, isn't that crazy
It's
to think
crazy.
about?
It is.
$2.85.
Yes.
It seems so low, and then you think about all the other things that come with that $2.85. The warm shower, the warm bed, the clean clothes. That $2.85 gets stretched so far.
It's, you know what, is if you're in business, you look for a return on your investment, right? We want to give where we get the most seed. And so Nashville Rescue Mission is really the servant. It's easier not to give. I just heard our pastor, to give him credit yesterday, was talking about how like Jesus sees us, right? Like he was walking up on the 10 lepers in Luke 17 and he said, go and show yourself. And but the point is, he saw them clean, right? Mm-hmm. So often we see a group of people say, oh, the homeless, we marginalize them, or the addicts. And it's easy not to give because we kind of make ourselves feel better about it. But when you see them as a person, as the Nashville Rescue Mission does, they see each one of their talents and their capabilities, and they bring them in and they love on them, they help them to get on their feet. I mean, Nashville's growing, and they're a vital part of our growth.
Exactly. And I think there's a big difference between somebody that you see that's homeless who isn't looking for the help.
Right.
Whereas a lot of people here want the help. They're asking for the help.
Absolutely.
And the Nashville Rescue Mission is here to provide that help. I think that there's a big difference between those two groups of people. The people here, they're begging for that change.
100%. And why wouldn't we? And probably a lot of business owners are listening to this, a lot of professional people. And so the challenge to you, whether you're in your car, you're at your work, or wherever you are, we'll spend money on season tickets. We'll spend money on events, concerts. Let's spend money on saving people's lives.
I mean, for what a Netflix membership will cost you for a month, you could provide 3 or 4 meals to the Nashville Rescue Mission.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's what I mean. Yeah, and you get to be, and you know what? You'll be better than they are. It's amazing how it changes you when you give.
Amen. And just I said it earlier today. Pray on it. How much can you give? You may not feel like it's a lot, but $2.85 provides a meal, a shower, a bed. $2.85 will be doubled by Xander Insurance this hour. They're matching all donations this hour, so that $2.85 becomes almost $6. Like, you're already increasing what you're putting out there.
It's a no-brainer, Chris.
There's a thing that I like to tell my kids. It's like, it may seem small to you, but when you throw a pebble in the water, it ripples out.
That's right.
And you think about where those ripples go and how big they get, and that's what your donation, no matter how small it may be, it's going to ripple out. It's going to have such an effect and such a positive impact, not just in Middle Tennessee, but in the life of somebody here at the mission.
That's spot on. Yeah, let's put the give in Thanksgiving. Let's break some records and help people get back on their feet. People that, like you said, are looking for help, and that's what we're here for.
These aren't people that are asking for money for drugs. These are people that are here because they want systematic change in their life. And it comes through a mission like the Nashville Rescue Mission, who leads with Christ, which I think is
Amen.
That's the biggest part.
That's right.
Everybody's redeemable through Christ. Christ is king, and you can see it at work here in the mission.
That's right.
You know, when I was watching the kids get on the bus this morning and seeing these big smiles on their faces,
Yeah.
and it's like, wow, you know,
Yeah.
you can be smiling that big, and it's a credit to the work that they're doing here at the mission.
That's just how Jesus saw us. He saw through us, and he saw in good, and that's what they're doing here. They're seeing us as people, and they're seeing the potential and what we can do. And so, absolutely, let's get behind the Nashville Rescue Mission in a big way.
Amen. I'm joined here by Chad Custer of Nelson Mazda, who's a donor, a sponsor of the Nashville Rescue Mission. He's going to be involved with the big turkey fry tomorrow, where they're going to be frying a bunch of turkeys. I forget the exact number. I think it was 1,200 turkeys.
Ooh, wow, that's a lot of meals.
1,200 turkeys going to be fried tomorrow. So we thank you guys for getting involved with that. It's so important to give back.
It's the most important thing we do.
And you know, we think about this right around this time every year.
That's right.
How do we give back? But the Nashville Rescue Mission, you know, we do this one day. They're going to be here the other 364.
It's amazing.
And we need to help them sustain throughout those 364. And that's why it's so important for you to donate. And it's why it's so important that donating right now is being matched by Xander Insurance. We thank them for that. So every dollar you give will turn into two when you call 615-312-1500, the John Bouchard and Son donation hotline, 615-312-1500. Again, Chad Custer of Nelson Mazda, thank you so much for getting involved here at
Glad
the
to be
mission.
here. God gets all the glory. Thanks, Chris.
Amen. Yeah. All good things through the Father. We appreciate you. And, you know, pray in your heart. Figure out how much you can give. Maybe cancel the Netflix for this month. Yeah, you know, maybe we drop the Netflix for 1 month, and you can provide that $10 or $11 will turn into $22 because Xander Insurance is matching all donations this hour. So pick up your phone, get the phone bank ringing, 615-312-1500 to donate. And again, Xander Insurance is matching all your donations this hour, 615-312-1500. We're live. It's the Hunger to Hope Radiothon from the Nashville Rescue Mission. We are so blessed to be able to give here and to make a difference in this community, and we ask that you join us. It's presented by Mark Spain Real Estate, the Generator Superstore, and more. And we thank all of our great sponsors here on Supertalk 99.7 WTN, including Xander Insurance, who is matching all donations this hour. 615-312-1500. It's Supertalk 99.7 WTN.
10:30 on the dot this Monday morning. I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. We are working on a timeline for some potentially problematic weather ahead of Thanksgiving. We'll tell you about it during the full forecast in 2 minutes. Metro Police say one person died in a crash in South Nashville overnight. It happened on Bell Road near Harris Hills Lane. That is between Nolensville Pike and I-24. Police say one car hit a curb and then went into oncoming traffic, striking another vehicle. One person died, and one person was rushed to the hospital. A lot of people heading out for Thanksgiving here in Nashville. B&A expecting 35,000 travelers over the Thanksgiving Day holiday weekend. Drivers in Tennessee going to be paying an average of $2.90 per gallon for gasoline, according to Gas Buddy. And how much money is enough? A survey from financial services company Empower says most Americans would take about a 50% pay cut to feel more content and less stressed. That's the latest news, traffic and weather next. And so is the Nashville Rescue Mission Radiothon. Call the John Bouchard and Sons donation hotline, 615-312-1500. You can also text the word meals to 52236. That's 52236. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News.
Ten 10:32 on Supertalk 99.7 WTN. My name is Chris Hand. We are live from the Hunger to Hope Radiothon at the Nashville Rescue Mission. We are so grateful for you calling into the John Bouchard & Son donation hotline at 615-312-1500. Every dollar you donate this hour is going to be matched by Zander Insurance. So $1 becomes $2, $100 becomes $200, and so forth. So please pick up the phone, make a donation to the Nashville Rescue Mission right now at 615-312-1500. A lot of people want to know, where do these dollars go? What kind of change can be made? And we've made these amazing vignettes for you that will kind of illustrate the transformation that you're seeing in individuals every single day at the Nashville Rescue Mission. And it's so important to realize that where these people came from, where they are now, and where they're going, that the change, the transformation, is because of the work that's being done here at the Nashville Rescue Mission. So we're going to play a vignette for you now. And while you're listening to this, I hope you feel compelled in your heart to call and donate. 615-312-1500. Here is that vignette.
At Nashville's Rescue Mission.
I think it's critical. I mean, I see people, the women walk in the door, and I see their brokenness. I see their fear and their anxiety about what's going to happen now. And I think just the atmosphere and the love that we show people, they see Christ through that, and they feel it's a safe place and a place where they can find hope. It is, for me, I can live in recovery. I can't live without God. I can be sober, but to be in recovery and live the life that God wanted me to live, then I need God in my life.
Also crucial in her role as director of the Women's Life program is that she's lived that life, the life of a woman who's scared and perhaps even in danger from an abusive relationship and hopelessly addicted. She's been there. She can relate. And now she's here to help the women who come to the Nashville Rescue Mission.
And I think for them, it's important for them to see me as having almost 20 years in recovery. It makes them feel, oh, well, she knows what I'm talking about. And so I've taken phone calls and I've been talking to them about the program, and I'll say, well, I have 19 years sobriety, and they'll be like, oh, okay. So you can just, hear the relief in their voice of like I'm talking to somebody who understands me. And then just sharing my experience. We all come to recovery. There's so many similarities in our addictions, but differences. But our reasoning and why we're in addiction are pretty much the same. We're broken, we're hurt, there's trauma. And so with those experiences, like when we're just having conversation and I can share my experience, then they really feel like maybe there's hope. If you can get through that, then maybe I can get through that.
And now big news for the Nashville Rescue Mission. Thanks to donations from Tennesseans just like you, they've expanded. They've improved the Women's Center at the mission.
It means so much. Just the facility is amazing. It just allows us to serve more people. It allows us to give them just a very nice, comfortable place to be. To me, I just think of the support of the community. That means so much to me, and it overwhelms me to think of how Nashville Rescue Mission has just been around for 70-some years by the support of the community. And so this facility being funded by the community and community partners is just amazing. And it is going to allow people to have a safe, comfortable place to be and to just experience, I look at it as more of a normalcy of life.
And thanks to that atmosphere of faith, hope, and love, thousands have come through those doors at the mission and found what they needed to move forward and leave behind the despair that haunted them for years. And the rescue mission is more than just about the monetary donations. If you don't have the money to give, they're also looking for those who can donate their time as well.
Even just volunteering in the kitchen is so important. One, for the number of people we feed, and two, to have that experience. The first time I served here was way before I worked here, but I was scooping beans, and my arm hurt by the time I was done, but I don't think people realize the number of people we serve and how many volunteers that takes to help with that. And so every volunteer opportunity is important and speaks into somebody's life here.
For her and the people at the mission, guests, and employees, this is a facility that does Nashville proud by serving up hope and saving lives.
This is just a very special place. God does work here. He is present. That's the best part of my job, is to be able to actually see God's work in people, to see them transform throughout their time here. And also for, our guests. They have a safe place. They have food and shelter. They have programming. I mean, people work here, have a dedication and a compassion to help people. And that's what we try to do every day. So coming and visiting or volunteering or donating is huge. It allows us to help more people. It just changes lives.
So whether you give with your wallet or your time, Kim and others prove that there's more than one way to give. Thank you for listening, and thank you for helping the Nashville Rescue Mission.
From hunger to hope, you're listening to Supertalk 99.7's annual Nashville Rescue Mission Radiothon. Donate right now by calling the John Bouchard & Sons donation hotline, 615-312-1500. Operators are standing by. You can also text the word MEALS to 52236. That's MEALS to 52236. Thanks for listening and giving from all of us at WTN.
It's the Hunger to Hope Radiothon, brought to you by Supertalk 99.7 WTN. We are live at the Nashville Rescue Mission. This is all presented by Mark Spain Real Estate, the Generator Superstore. We are so grateful to our sponsors, and we're also grateful to everyone in the Nashville community reaching out, donating. Every donation this hour is matched by Zander Insurance. And again, I just feel like we need to throw the challenge out there to all churches, as Zander Insurance is matching all donations this hour. Everything here is Christ-centered and Christ-focused at the Nashville Rescue Mission, and that's why it's so important for churches to stand up and get involved. Christ Miracle Chapel, they donated $1,000, and we're throwing down the gauntlet to any other churches out there listening to donate. This is a foundation, the Nashville Rescue Mission, that doesn't take any government handouts. They do it all based on donations, and every dollar you donate this hour will be doubled by Zander Insurance. So call us on the John Bouchard & Sons donation hotline, 615-312-1500. That's 615-312-1500. Joined now by Dan Mandis, who has some updates from the phone bank. What's going on, Dan?
Lots going on, actually. So I love that Bill Higgins got somewhat creative.
Okay.
He is donating $997 in a gift memory to Phil Valentine.
Oh, I like that.
So,
all right. Thank you, Bill.
That's exactly right. And had a guy drop off a check, and this was very cool. By the way, we're at 639 Lafayette Street. It is Lafayette, by the way.
Yes.
Chris. Crazy Canuck was calling it Lafayette earlier.
That's it. We can't even get through a radiothon without harassing me for potentially being Canadian.
No, we can't.
Okay.
Another one in memory of Uncle Phil, Pamela Schuler, $100. We did have a guy named Bo drop by $50 here at the mission. Yeah, in memory of my mother, he gave us $50. Thank you very much. By the way, 639 Lafayette. So if you want to drop off some money, they can come up, and Chris, you can shake their hand and say thank you in person.
Let's do it.
We'll escort you up as well.
Come see us.
Kim Walker, in memory of Phil Valentine, she has donated $100. Teresa Perkins, $25.
Thanks, Teresa.
$500 business donation from Elliott Group Inc. Not sure what Elliott Group Inc. does.
Landscaping.
Landscaping?
That's the word on the streets.
And
it could be wrong, but we'll correct it if so.
And John Nash called up. His dog died like 9 months ago. So he is donating money in memory of his dog. He listens to the radio station every day. It is an honor, he says, to support the Nashville Rescue Mission. Thank you, Mr. John Nash.
Well, I think it's important to point out that for all the pet lovers out here, the Nashville Rescue Mission has a room for pets. They don't just bring in men, women, and children, but they also bring in pets to the Nashville Rescue Mission.
How did I not know that? Did they really?
So
I didn't know that.
They don't.
Well, good for them.
They literally will not break up the family down to and including your dog. Well, that's what they do here.
Listen,
it's incredible. Like anything you could think of, the people at the Nashville Rescue Mission have thought of it, and they put in that extra effort, that extra inch to keep your family together if you're going through hard times. That's the work that they're doing here, and that's why it's so important to donate at 615-312-1500.
Listen,
and
in honor of Fluffy, you've got to donate.
You have to donate for Fluffy, and it'll all be matched by Xander Insurance.
Rose has a truck driver from Illinois. She donated. It doesn't have an amount, but she donated in honor of, it looks like, her grandfather. So thank you, Rose Matthews, for your donation as well. We do have a total $86,951.22. That brings us to 30,509 meals. So
all right,
cooking right along, man.
We can, but if we've learned anything from before 11 o'clock here now during this radiothon is that we can do more than this.
Yep.
If we can do this before 11, imagine what we can get done by 7 o'clock tonight. And we're going to be here all day. This hour, Xander Insurance is matching your donation. Now, I know you said you didn't know what Rose donated. That's the best part. It doesn't matter what you donate.
No, it really doesn't.
It can be a little. It can be a lot. $2.85 will provide a meal here at the Mission.
Rose is, again, a truck driver from Illinois.
Thank you, Rose.
And you're right. You talk about how inflation has gone up. We're $2.26 last year.
Yep.
Bought a meal. Now it's $2.85. And so, but our goal of 44,000 meals remains. And so it's costing us more money. So we're asking folks to do whatever they can.
And even with inflation, you have to really admire the resourcefulness of the Nashville Rescue Mission. $2.85 for a meal doesn't seem like a lot.
No, but they are, the thing we always like to say is they are great stewards of your donations.
And it shows it right there. I mean, you'll pay more for a coffee at Starbucks than you will for a meal at the Nashville Rescue Mission.
And it's not only $2.85 this year. It's not only $2.85 for a meal, but that also gets you a hot shower. That gets you some clothing. A guy I was speaking to in the morning, he talked about how he arrived at the Mission and he had like nothing. And they got him clean clothes, clean socks, and did everything they did, a cotton, hot meal and all that kind of stuff. He left here and he had a direction for a career. He had a direction in life, and he is to this day self-sufficient. So
God is so good.
That's the whole point. And the thing that I kept hammering home this morning is it is all about being self-sufficient, and it's all about investing in people. And so that's my big message among many this morning. And as you continue on, is it's an investment.
Well, and they don't take money from the government. They don't take any government handout. And sometimes it feels like when the government gets involved, these problems don't really get fixed. There's too much profit in the problem. But you see at the Nashville Rescue Mission, they're really trying to make it so that way anybody that comes through the mission never has to deal with homelessness again, that this is the last time you run into these issues. And they're providing you that training for your next steps in life. So that way relapse isn't going to be an option because you're going to be working full time with your CDL. You're going to get those maintenance classes. You're going to get operations classes. And that's what all of your donations going to as well. It's not just the hot meal. It's what comes next after you get sober, after you clean up your life. The next is such a huge part of everything.
Now so are you a cat owner or a dog owner?
I'm a dog owner.
So I'm a dog owner too. And so my prediction, I hope you folks are listening in the John Bouchard and Sons donation hotline room. I think that dog owners will donate a heck of a lot more than cat owners. But cat owners are pretty passionate, and I'm not putting anything down as far as cat owners go. I've had a few cats in my time, but it was short-lived.
Are we going? Do I take the position of cat owners just for the sake of the argument? I think cat owners will donate more than dog owners.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that fits because you're a Canadian. I'm just kidding. So if you're a dog owner or a cat owner, I seriously, this is no joke. I sound like Biden. Well,
not a joke.
Not a joke. Seriously, man. Yeah, cat owners versus dog owners. Who can donate more? 615-312-1500.
And all of it will be matched by Xander Insurance this hour.
That's right. And from what I understand, Xander Insurance, they're agnostic on the whole dog cat thing. They don't want to get involved in what's better.
No, they don't want to do the heated debates.
Yes. Thank you. We got some more.
So we want you to call in and donate. It'll be matched by Xander Insurance, 615-312-1500.
We got a $1,000 donation from Menda. And so, is that Menda? Okay, very good. Thank you. And in honor of parents, William and Alita Thomas, $100 has been donated as well. Now Tanya, what we're doing is we're throwing down cat owners versus dog owners. Who are they? I bet you they're dog owners.
Yeah, if you
got to be dog owners. Come on, man.
Cat owners just raging.
There are more dog owners, I would say, than there are cat owners, but the cat owners population is way surpasses the dogs population. In other words, you might have 2 dogs in this family, and there are 25 cats in this house over here across
Crazy.
the street.
You know what? Here's the deal. Crazy cat people, no offense to you folks.
They're
crazy
passionate.
Cat people, their money is welcome here, too.
Yeah.
I've got 2 of both.
Just make sure you donate for each cat you have.
That's exactly right. 1 meal for each cat.
Yeah,
That's what we need to do.
And it's all being all your donations are being matched by Xander Insurance this hour, whether you're donating for your dog or your cat.
Do we need to go down the road of hamsters? No, just call 615-312-1500.
Let's just do an other category, and we know the fish people probably
marsupials, goldfish. That's fine as well. No problem at all.
Yeah, goldfish. Yeah, we'll see what happens. Xander Insurance matching all those donations this hour to the John Bouchard and Son donation hotline, 615-312-1500. It's the Hunger to Hope Radiothon live from the Nashville Rescue Mission. We can't do any of this without you, and all good things come through the Lord, and He is working here at the mission every single day. 615-312-1500 to donate. It is Supertalk 99.7 WTN.
Starteria's story was so familiar. She got involved with the wrong people and the wrong situations.
I was a sheltered child, and once I got out on my own, I was hanging around people and was just trying to figure things out, and it was no good for me. I had no idea what I was getting myself into.
The list of what she lost was long and painful, and she's doing all she can to try to regain those relationships and move forward with the help of the Nashville Rescue Mission.
I've lost my mind. I lost my kids. I lost my apartment, and I lost my car. I lost my family's trust. I've lost relationships that meant the world to me. Things that I'm trying to get back.
The moment Starteria found out about the mission, she knew it was where she wanted to be and needed to be.
I pretty much knew that this was something that I wanted to do. I knew that I wanted to start that day and finish strong. I knew I was going to do it. I have been in recovery for a year now. The Hope Center has really helped me because it's a community, and there's people here like me and people here that understand what I'm going through, which makes it a little easier. They understand, they get it, they know how to treat you, they know how to talk to you. It's always better to, tell someone what you're going through that doesn't judge you. And mainly because it's a faith-based program, so they just teach you to keep Him first through whatever you're going through. So it really does help a lot. They teach you more ways to be like Jesus, and it really helps.
From hunger to hope, you're listening to Supertalk 99.7's annual Nashville Rescue Mission Radiothon. Donate right now by calling the John Bouchard and Sons donation hotline, 615-312-1500. Operators are standing by. You can also text the word meals to 52236. That's meals to 52236. Thanks for listening and giving from all of us at WTN.
The Hunger to Hope Radiothon live at the Nashville Rescue Mission. My name is Chris Hand. It's Supertalk 99.7 WTN. I've gotten word that the phones have been going crazy back there since Dan Mandis put down the challenge of who can donate more, cat people or dog people. So don't let your side lose. Call in and donate now to the John Bouchard and Son donation hotline, 615-312-1500. Make sure you tell them whether you're a dog or a cat person. Just for internal polling. And Xander Insurance is matching all the donations this hour. So your $10 becomes $20. You know how matching works. We don't really need to go down the line too much with that. But listen, the work that is being done here at the Nashville Rescue Mission cannot be understated. They are providing meals. They are providing places to sleep. They are providing hot showers, clean clothes. They're providing training for sustainable change. Not only does the mission offer these life recovery programs for men and women struggling with their addiction, with their issues with alcohol, with the other life debilitating charges. Not only are they providing all of that for free, but they're also looking at job training down the road. They're providing computer classes, operations classes, maintenance. They're helping people get their CDL license. All these avenues are provided by the Nashville Rescue Mission to give people a different course, a trajectory change for their life. And it all happens right here. It happens at the mission. It happens because of your donations. So we ask you to donate now. Donate often. 615-312-1500. Every donation this hour is going to be matched by Xander Insurance. It takes your donations for this trajectory-changing mission. The mission will assist men and women who haven't graduated high school. They'll help them get their GED. They'll provide them with classes taught by teachers and engineers and professors at the mission here. They do this with supportive donors covering the cost of these exams. They remove these economic barriers that may prevent somebody from pursuing their diploma. It's amazing. It's like they're not just focused on getting you clean, getting you sober. They're focused on the what comes next, too, here at the mission. That's what's so truly inspiring, the what comes next. Anybody can provide a meal or a place to sleep, but the fact that they focus on what comes next, so that way this doesn't become a problem that you can't get out from under, so that way relapse isn't the only outcome, that's where your funding goes at the Nashville Rescue Mission. And they literally can't do it without you. The Nashville Rescue Mission stays true to their message of sharing good news. They don't take any dollars from the government. 73% of the mission's funds are given directly from individuals like you. Directly. It's through your generous support that the mission is able to help those in need. And that's why they've been doing this since 1954. Every donation this hour is going to be matched by Xander Insurance. If you haven't donated yet, now is the time to do so. 615-312-1500. 615-312-1500. We're looking to get 44,000 meals today provided for the Nashville Rescue Mission. It's about $2.85 per meal. It used to be $2.26 per meal. But the inflation happening in this country, it's hitting everybody. It's hitting the rescue mission as well. That's why your donation means so much more. And that $2.85 provides more than a meal. So much more. The meal serves as an entry point. The meal gets somebody through the door. The promise for hot food will get somebody into the rescue mission. But what keeps them here is their passion for Christ, their passion for progress. But before the mission can begin to offer someone help who's homeless and hungry, they have to make sure that these basic needs are met. So it starts with a meal. And then it's followed by other emergency services, including shelter and clothing. And then they get to encouragement. Then they get to hope. Then they get to the future through faith in Jesus Christ. And the faith aspect moves mountains.
And Chris, like you said, all donations getting matched right now. That's the next 2.5 minutes. So right now, call in. And I believe, Chris, you have that number, but call in right now. I think it's 312-1500. That's right.
615-312-1500. All donations through the end of the hour matched by Xander Insurance. 615-312-1500. I hear the phone banks ringing back there, but we need to get more phones ringing. 615-312-1500. If you don't have a lot to give, now is the time to give it because it will be matched by Xander Insurance. 615-312-1500. And again, this stuff, it goes so far.
Mm-hmm.
It goes so far. It's not just the right now. It's not just the food in the warm bed. It's the clothes. It's the training. It's the trajectory-changing mission that's focused on Christ. That's the difference. Today, the mission serves 800 men, women, and children daily. Every single day. Every single day, the mission serves about 1,600 meals. Every single day.
And Chris, maybe you're someone who can only give that $5 or $10, which, by the way, that's 10 or 20 for the next 2 minutes. But Chris, and I've heard you mention it. If you go to NashvilleRescueMission.org, it's not just money. You can give food. You can give your time and donate up your time and go help out with warehouse, teaching classes, whether it's mentoring, leading Bible study. There's so much help that's needed at the Nashville Rescue Mission that we can offer today.
You're absolutely right, but for one more minute, 615-312-1500. Xander Insurance is matching your donations. 615-312-1500. $285 will provide a meal here at the Nashville Rescue Mission, but it's so much more. It provides the bed, it provides the hot shower, it provides the clean clothes, and it provides trajectory-changing resources here at the Nashville Rescue Mission. You can change someone's future by donating today to the John Bouchard and Son donation hotline, 615-312-1500. Dan is looking at me like he's got some news. What's up, Dan?
I've got an apology to make to cat fans.
Oh.
Because the cat fans and the cat owners called in droves, and we're still trying to count, but we did this whole thing, who's going to give more dog fans or cat owners and so forth, and the cat people came out. And they came out like the crazy folks they are. And we can't, I think probably 65% cat people versus, the rest for dogs. But here's the headline. We have broke $100,000 now.
Wow. Awesome.
We are at $102,231.22. That is 35,870 meals. Just let me get through these very quickly. Lee donated in honor of his daughter being sober. Thank you, Lee.
Thanks, Lee.
A lot of memorial donations. Jan has donated in memory of Phil and my mother. $250 in memory of James Mark Morrell III. Tom Hodgins is in hospice. And thank you for your donation for Mina Thomas, I believe. We have so many names here. In honor of Uncle Robert Jackson, a counselor. Got a donation from that person. I'm not sure the amount. They're coming in. So here's the thing. The donations are coming in so fast that they're trying to write everything down. And it's just, I'm just being, names are being thrown at me.
This is a good problem to have. And we hope that this problem continues. 615-312-1500. One more time with that total, Dan.
That total is $102,231.22. Amazing people.
Excellent. Thank you, guys. Listen, we cannot do this without you. The Hunger to Hope Radiothon continues live from the Nashville Rescue Mission. Pick up your phone, call and donate, especially if you're a dog person and you feel slighted by the cat people. 615-312-1500 is the number to call. It is 11:01 on Supertalk 99.7 WTN. Quick break for the headlines, and then we're back to the Hunger to Hope Radiothon on Supertalk.
I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. We've got a crash. It is blocking the right lane, 40 eastbound in Bellevue, right there at Old Hickory Boulevard. And then another one, 65 southbound at 24 north. That is a stalled vehicle blocking the left 2 lanes. Crime in Nashville. Channel 4 says a Wingstop employee in Antioch was beaten with a pole because she wouldn't open the safe during a robbery. It happened on November 3rd. The pole was 4 feet long and it was metal. Police say surveillance video helped with the arrest of 33-year-old Antonio Jefferson, who was charged with aggravated robbery with a weapon. Jefferson is someone who police identify as a known violent criminal in Nashville due to his 36 previous arrests for charges ranging from murder, rape, and burglary. Jefferson being held on this new charge on $136,000 bond. Right now in our nation's capital, U.S. Attorney Matthew Graves said authorities have seized more than 250,000 fake pills that can kill.
This was a conspiracy that flooded the District of Columbia with fake pills containing fentanyl, dangerously marked, as they so often are, with M30 imprints to resemble legally manufactured oxycodone.
He says more than 24 suspects are charged in the D.C. metro area and California, where the fentanyl was allegedly being shipped from after being smuggled into the U.S. from Mexico. And right now in Northern California, authorities say there are only 3 people charged for stealing people's checks out of the mail. This in North Carolina.
This is Jim Ryan. In a world of debit cards and electronic payment transactions, some people and businesses are still sending paper checks through the mail. The black market for stolen checks is booming.
The trade is quite vibrant at this point,
says David Myman, a Georgia State University criminologist who's been tracking stolen checks for sale on the dark web for the last 2 years.
The checks go for different prices, depending on the area, depending on the balance.
Many of the checks are taken from big blue mailboxes using master keys stolen from letter carriers.
Yeah, so in this North Carolina case, it was a postal worker and 2 alleged co-conspirators, charged with stealing $24 million worth of checks out of the mail over a 2-year period. That's the latest news. Traffic and weather are next. So is the Nashville Rescue Mission Radiothon. Call the John Broussard and Sons donation hotline at 615-312-1500. You can also text the word meals to 52236. That's 52236. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News.
Hey, it's Chris Hand from my friends at USS United Structural Systems. They have been in Middle Tennessee doing their thing since 1994, and they have 25,000 satisfied customers that basically anything that's going on with your house, these guys can talk to you about it, whether it's structural repair, concrete lifting, basement and crawl space waterproofing. You need to talk to the guys at USS. Now, it's one of those industries, and they told me themselves, you don't know you need USS until you know you need USS. So look around your house. Are you seeing cracks in your foundation? Have you noticed water in your crawl space, wet basement walls, maybe cracks in your basement floors? Well, that's your house trying to tell you something. And the guys at United Structural System, they're fluent in house, and they'll be able to diagnose exactly what's going on and come up with a custom plan for your home. So if you have any of those issues, if you haven't been down in your crawl space in a while, I suggest you poke your head down there and see if you have any of those issues. Because, again, you don't know you need them till you know you need them. And if you need them, give USS a call today, 615-488-7855, 615-488-7855, or online, USSTN.com. Yes, it's our Hunger to Hope Radiothon, benefiting the Nashville Rescue Mission on Supertalk 99.7 WTN. My name is Chris Hand. Last hour, Xander Insurance was matching all donations, and it came to a close, and we were so grateful to them. We sent a text to say thank you, and they let us know they're going to match donations this hour as well.
Wonderful.
So thank you to everyone at Xander Insurance for matching donations for another hour. If you haven't donated yet, this is the best excuse you can have. Your dollars will be doubled. Call the John Boussard and Son donation hotline, 615-312-1500, 615-312-1500. I'm joined now by the CEO of the mission, Glenn Cranfield. Glenn, thanks for having us out here today. And thanks for the work that you guys do here for Nashville at the Rescue Mission every single day.
Well, thank you, Chris. Good morning. It's so great to be here, and I'm so thankful for 99.7 coming together and saying, bringing all of Nashville together, bringing all of Middle Tennessee together, and saying we care about those that are hurting. We care about the homeless. We care about the struggling, and more than just we care, we're going to do something about it. And so I really appreciate that.
Yeah, thanks for having us here. What stands out to you about the work that you guys do and your employees that are kind of in the trenches doing that hard work every day? What gives you hope when you see them down there?
Oh, that's a great question. You know, I tell people here in the work that we do, we see some of the most difficult situations, Chris, some of the people that are struggling hard to get by, moms with kids and things that just really grab your heart. But the thing that really keeps us going is the other side. When you see people's lives transformed by the power of the gospel, the power of hope, and with counseling and case management and addiction recovery, when you see them actually get their life back together and moving forward in productivity, that's all that we need to keep going.
Well, it's one of the things that first struck me as amazing about this place is that for all of the darkness that you're going to have to deal with inevitably in one of these areas, dealing with homelessness, dealing with addiction, how much joy is in this building?
Absolutely. You know, several years ago, my wife, Shelley, we were talking about the mission here, and she made the statement, which has become our tagline. She said, Glenn, hope lives there. Hope lives there. And you're right. You know, there's so much hurting and so much, difficulty that we witness, but there's so much hope and so much joy that we see every single day. When you see a child smile that hasn't smiled in a while, that's hungry, has been hungry and is fed and has a nice warm place to sleep, it just fills your heart with so much joy. And you walk through the campus, I'm sure you have, and others,
yes,
and
sir.
Tours. And that's the thing that sticks out is the joy, the smiles, and the hope. And to know that there's a place like this right here in Nashville that is offering that joy, that hope to everybody that's in need.
Well, one of the things that really struck me was how many kids you guys are helping here every day. And during my first tour, I remember hearing, the bus comes first.
Yes.
And it drops off last.
Yes.
And I thought, well, that's great because then, a lot of these kids don't have to deal with, the stigma of living in a homeless shelter.
Right.
But when I saw those kids getting on the bus this morning as I'm waiting to come up, I saw so many smiling faces.
Yeah.
And what went from me feeling like I should feel bad gave me a lot of hope. Because those kids had the biggest smiles.
Absolutely.
And they're really benefiting from the resources that you guys provide here. They're really benefiting from the hope-filled method and the Christ approach that you guys are bringing here at the Rescue Mission.
Yeah, it does. And, that's one of the, you mentioned it, seeing the kids smile. That's one of the things that just gives us so much hope and joy is that we know that their life has been turned upside down in many cases. But when you see them hope, when you see them smile, and they have a warm, safe, protected place to sleep, they have 3 meals a day, they have clothes and shower, counseling, case management, and all of that. We know that we're really, as far as Nashville goes, we're putting our best foot forward to help them the very best that we can to get them back into productive living. And to see that child smile and to see the joy in their face just means so much to every single one of us.
It was huge to me to see. And it's like a lot of times when you hear about people dealing with addiction or dealing with homelessness, you think, oh, well, they kind of did that to themselves. You almost kind of make these excuses in your head. Well, those kids didn't do anything.
No.
And to see them smile as they got on the bus today was like, wow, we are in the right place. God is moving here, and God is good. And that's why it's so important for you to donate to the mission today. All donations this hour are being matched by Xander Insurance. If you want to be the difference in a young person's life, call now, 615-312-1500. Do you ever get down being here? Does it ever get hard for you walking through these halls and seeing the things that you guys have to see?
You know, I've thought about this several times, and how can I answer that question truthfully? Because I really don't. You know, there are difficult situations, but here walking the halls, I see somebody, whether it's a child or a woman or a young man, I know they're in the very best place that they can be at that moment. They're in a place where they're going to receive so much help, and I'm so grateful for that. I'm thankful that they're here. I know that there's difficulty that brought them here, but I know that they're in the right place. And I know that God can change their lives, working through the people here, working through our donors and working through our volunteers. They're in the very best place they can be.
Amen. And everybody's redeemable through Christ.
Absolutely.
And we've seen that so many times, time and time again. Now, when I was here and I was doing my tour, a young woman walked in and she had a baby. And I remember thinking, like, wow.
Yeah.
This is what we're doing here. This is why we're here. And you know, it kind of crossed my mind that God won't waste your pain.
Yeah, that's right.
You know,
that's right.
And there's a lot of people here with a lot of pain.
That's right.
But God's not wasting that pain.
No, he's not.
He's at work here at the Nashville Rescue Mission.
Yeah, absolutely. He's at work teaching and training and molding people into what he wants them to be. You know, we take pictures when people come through the door. The very first time we set them down, we take their picture. And then when they leave, 7 months later after graduating with the program, we take the picture again and we show this is you before and now this is you after. This is you beforehand, and this is what God has done in your life. Smiles and joy and wait even, for eating meals. It's so wonderful to see the before and the after effect
of
what happens here.
I bet you it's happy tears to ugly crying so fast.
It is.
So why is it so important for you guys to not just focus on what the immediate needs are, but also what the next steps are?
Well, we do what's called Hope for Today, which are the immediate needs. You need a place to spend the night. You need shelter. You need a meal. You need to bring bread in off the streets. That's Hope for Today. But where we really focus is Hope for Tomorrow. And we want to give you the tools, the training, and the counseling, the therapy, everything that you need so that you can be a productive citizen outside of here. So when you leave the mission, you can leave having a job, you can leave having a place of residence, and you get back on your feet again into productive living. That's a success for us.
Yeah, the goal is to leave and not come back unless you've accepted a job working with the mission, right? It's
That's right. That's right.
In a best case scenario, it's like you never come back again, right?
Right. And, I think Phil Valentine, I love him dearly. He used to say, and he's so right, this is not a handout. This is a hand up.
Yep.
It's a hand up to get you out of the situation that you're in, to reach down there and to love you and to provide a hand and to pull you out so you can get back into productive living. And that's exactly what this is about.
I have brought that up so many times because this is my first year as a host on Supertalk doing the Radiothon, but I listened so many years. And I remember hearing Phil say that. It's a hand up, not a handout. And
yeah.
It made so much sense to me. And the fact that you guys don't accept any government funding, why is that such a big deal?
It's a big deal for us because with the government funding comes all kinds of strings and ties and attachments, and we want to be free to deliver the gospel message. And I tell people all the time, we can feed people, we can house people, we can clothe people, but we can't change hearts. We can't change lives. Only God through Christ can do that.
Amen.
And so we don't accept any government funds because we don't want to have our hands tied in delivering the one true message that truly changes lives.
I love that. And I love that you guys stand on such moral and such a foundation. It seems like you've built this house on a rock here.
Yeah. Well, I'm grateful for our staff. We have 140 staff members. We're here. We're open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. And I'm so proud of them and so proud of their job and the work that they do in providing that hope that is so desperately needed in our culture.
I'm impressed when I see your staff and the work that they're doing. And That's hard work. This is it's taxing, the work
It
that they
is.
have to do, and you have to see a lot of dark stuff. But again, God won't waste your pain, and we're so happy that we can do this with you guys for one day. But the mission is here for another 364 days a year. The mission doesn't stop when the Radiothon does, and that's why it's so important for you to get involved. Call the John Bouchard and Sons donation hotline, 615-312-1500. Every single donation that you make this hour is going to be matched by Zander Insurance. Every single donation. We also have Chris challenging all truck drivers to donate. He donated $500.
Oh, wonderful!
Thank you, Chris.
Wow, thank you, Chris.
And if you're issuing challenges, we'll throw them out on the air. And the cool thing about that is Chris donates $500. Xander matches that.
Awesome.
That just became $1,000. And this is Christ moving in your life.
Yes.
This is hope expanding. I said it earlier. You throw a pebble in the water, and it may not seem big. But that pebble is going to ripple out, and where do you want your ripple effect to go? I want it to happen right here at the Nashville Rescue Mission. I know you do too. So pick up the phone, call, and donate. The John Bouchard and Son donation hotline, 615-312-1500. Every single donation this hour is going to be matched by Zander Insurance. I'm talking with Glenn Cranfield, who is the CEO of the Nashville Rescue Mission. Tell me what the most rewarding experience that you've had at the mission has been.
There have been so many, but one that comes to mind, I had been here probably about 3 years. I came in 2012. So about 2015, there was a gentleman that had been coming in and out of the mission every single day for that 3 years that I've been here, but he had mental health issues and deep-seated mental health issues. And so we got him involved with case managers. We partnered with some agencies in town to help him get the medication that he needed. And he started talking with them and working with them. And they found out just through visiting with him, after 3 years that I knew him, he'd been here longer than that, but after 3 years that I knew him, he started telling them a little bit about his life, and he realized that he had family in another state. So they called the other family, and they thought he had passed away on the streets.
Wow.
And they were so overcome with joy and excitement that he was still alive. And right there in the lobby that you entered in today, there was a reunion of his family coming in from out of state to meet him. And he met grandchildren he didn't know he had. And it was an incredible experience, and I'll never forget that. Just being reunited with people. He left the mission, went back home with them, lived in an assisted living center until he passed away. But here's the story. He did not die on the streets. He died in the loving care of his family back home because somebody cared enough to reach out to him and provide love and hope and get him the medication and the help that he needed. And that's one of the stories that really sticks with me.
Wow, I love that story. And that's what they're doing here with your dollar donations at the Nashville Rescue Mission. From the Hunger to Hope Radiothon, presented by Mark Spain Real Estate and the Generator Superstar. You can call right now and donate. The John Bouchard and Son donation hotline is open, waiting for your call, 615-312-1500. They're helping kids, they're helping women, they're helping men, and they do it every single day here in Middle Tennessee. 615-312-1500. Every donation you make this hour is going to be matched by Zander Insurance. Thank you again to Glenn Cranfield and the Nashville Rescue Mission and the work that you guys do here. You can just feel God is moving in this building, and I hope you can feel God moving in your life too, and I hope that you pick up the phone and call to donate, 615-312-1500. It's 11:21 on Supertalk 99.7 WTN.
And math.
Angela's life was in a drug-induced spiral and not getting better anytime soon, and finally hit rock bottom when she lost custody of her kids because of her addictions.
DCS was called because I was on drugs. And thank God my family took them, but I still lost them for 13 years.
And just when she thought it couldn't get any worse, it did, as she endured one tragedy after another.
I lost my mom in 2012, lost my husband in 2013, and then I still went on for 7 more years until I finally hit rock bottom. then that's whenever I lost everything. Everybody I ever cared about, my house, everything.
And as time went on, Angela felt like there was no hope in finding that peace that she so desperately needed, until she found the women's program at Nashville's Rescue Mission. And the fact the counselors had real-world experience in what she herself had been going through for years.
You know, what brought me to this place is most of the people here has been through this, so they can understand more. So that's what drew me here, and they really, really care. And the people you get to that are your teachers and stuff, they really care and they want you to get it.
And like so many of those who find faith at Nashville's Rescue Mission, reconnecting with God and applying His teaching to their recovery is what helped most of all.
Who is God and why does it matter? Because I knew God, but it was never really forefront in my life. So I think that really done it for me. No matter what you do, God still loves you and He's there. That you don't have to have the shame and the guilt, because I think for me, that was a big thing. The shame of I lost everything. I lost my kids, and I didn't know how to get that back.
Well, Angela did reconnect spiritually and with her kids. These days, Angela's doing well, taking it day by day and working at Nashville's Rescue Mission. Miracles like Angela's story happen every day at Nashville's Rescue Mission, and you can help by donating today.
From hunger to hope, you're listening to Supertalk 99.7's annual Nashville Rescue Mission Radiothon. Donate right now by calling the John Bouchard & Sons donation hotline, 615-312-1500. Operators are standing by. You can also text the word MEALS to 52236. That's MEALS to 52236. Thanks for listening and giving from all of us at WTN.
They opened their doors in 1954, and since then, the Nashville Rescue Mission has been providing food, clothing, and shelter to those in need. In fact, today, the mission serves 800 men, women, and children daily. They serve an average of 1,600 meals each day. It's unbelievable what they're doing here. It's unbelievable to feel God moving in this building, and I know that you can feel it as well. If you haven't donated yet, I hope you do. The John Bouchard & Sons donation hotline is open and waiting for your call, 615-312-1500. And every donation this hour is going to be matched by Zander Insurance, 615-312-1500. And listen, inflation's killing everybody. I know this economy isn't the easiest. It's hurting the mission, too. Last year at this time, when the Radiothon was done, the average cost of a meal that the mission would provide was $2.26. Now, it's $2.85. The economy is hurting everyone. But our goal remains the same. The goal of the mission remains the same. We want to provide them 44,000 meals, and they want to be able to provide meals, a hot shower, warm beds, clean clothes, and more to those that are in need every day that they need it. We're here for one day. The mission does it 365 days. So if you haven't donated yet, I hope you do. 615-312-1500. Or you can text MEALS to 52236. That's the word MEALS to 52236. You can text that donation in. You can make your donations as a tribute gift, a donation in honor, or you can challenge somebody. A lot of businesses have been challenging other businesses. And we hope that you get involved in whatever way you can. And again, every donation this hour matched by Zander Insurance. Where do your donations go? Well, it's not just 3 hots and a cot. A lot of these donations go towards what happens next. And what happens next in the life of somebody who's addicted or homeless means so much. And here, that next looks like job training. The mission provides that job training. They offer their life recovery programs for men and women struggling with addiction. And then after they get through their addiction, after they get cleaned up, it's computer classes, it's operations classes, maintenance classes, your CDL license. All these different avenues are provided by the mission to get people on the right path after they graduate the program. It's just as important as a hot meal is the what comes next. This This is what helps somebody not relapse. This is what brings somebody to the next step, the next phase in life. It's so, so important. The mission assists men and women who haven't graduated from high school. They help people that don't have a GED obtain one. That's what the next step looks like. That's what preventing a relapse looks like. That's what giving someone purpose looks like. And they can't do that without you. So I hope you pick up the phone and donate today. 615-312-1500. That's 615-312-1500. You can also text the word meals to 52236. And again, the Nashville Rescue Mission doesn't rely on government funding. They don't take money from the government. Nothing good is going to come from letting the government help, and the Nashville Rescue Mission knows that. And because they don't rely on the government, they can stay true to their message of sharing the good news. They can stay focused on the gospel. They can stay focused on transforming lives through Jesus Christ. Over 73% of the mission's funds are given directly from people like you. It's why it's so important for you to donate today. 615-312-1500. Every donation matched by Zander Insurance this hour. We hope you get involved. We hope that you donate. It's through your support. It's through generous people like you that the mission is able to help these people in need. We help the mission one day a year. They're going to be out there 364 more days this year helping the people that need help in Middle Tennessee. Your gift is going to make an immediate impact on the lives of the homeless. So I ask that you get involved. And getting involved may look like a donation. Getting involved may be donating your time. But you can get on NashvilleRescueMission.org and find out how to get involved in your own way. But we hope that you pick up the phone and donate today. Again, for the next hour till noon, Zander Insurance is matching these donations. And we want you to remember, as you're thinking about how to donate, how much to donate, that the mission serves 800 men, women, and children every day. 1,600 meals a day. Just in the shadow of the Batman building of Nashville on Lafayette Street. Lafayette. I know, everybody calls me Canadian. It was a bit of a joke. Lafayette Street in Nashville. The Bootman building, as Matt Murphy yelled in my ear. The Batman building. But this shelter is here every single day. They're providing these resources, these men, women, and children. And if you saw the kids smiling the way I saw them smile as they got on the bus for school this morning, you would know that your dollars are at work here at the Nashville Rescue Mission. God is at work here at the Nashville Rescue Mission, and we hope you get involved. 615-312-1500. Call in, donate. Zander Insurance will match it. And we are going to be talking with more staff from the Nashville Rescue Mission when we get back. Crystal Knight is going to be joining me. So hang out with us right now. The news on Supertalk 99.7 WTN.
.30 on the dot. I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Still got a stalled vehicle blocking the right lane of 24 eastbound at Briley Parkway in Whites Creek. And then in Bellevue, you've got a crash blocking the right lane 40 eastbound at Old Hickory Boulevard. U.S. officials say they're working closely with airlines to reduce flight delays and cancellations ahead of the busy Thanksgiving holiday.
Than last year, it's lower even than before the pandemic, which translates to millions more people getting to home or getting to work or getting to their loved ones.
That is Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg. You said the administration's working collaboratively with the airlines to reduce delays, including calling on airports to prioritize commercial flights. And ahead of the approaching holidays, a potential rise in cases this winter, the Biden administration once again allowing households to order a fresh wave of free COVID-19 tests. U.S. households can now order 4 more free COVID tests. Get them shipped right to your door through the website covidtests.gov. That's tests, plural. And that's the latest news. Weather is next. And so is the Nashville Rescue Mission Radiothon. Call the John Bouchard & Sons donation hotline at 615-312-1500. You can also text the word meals to 52236. That's 52236. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News.
The temperature is going up and down and up and down. You're kicking on your AC. You're kicking on your heat. Hey, it's Chris Hand for Jeff Eddy's Efficient Heating and Cooling. If you're noticing your HVAC system is on the fritz, I got a guy for you to call, Jeff Eddy and his crew. I mean, it can be so hard to find somebody that you trust when it comes to fixing your HVAC. Are they selling you a bill of goods or are they telling you the truth? Well, with Efficient HVAC, you can trust them to tell you the truth. They're a small company, but they have big service, and you know what's even better? They're honest. So if you're trying to make that decision to repair or replace your system, even if you had another guy come tell you that you got to replace it, call Jeff Eddy and his team for a second opinion, because the other guys, they may just pressure you to replace your system because, well, they make more money that way. Not with Jeff Eddy and his crew. They're looking for lifetime customers, and if it just means replacing a part, they'll tell you just replace a part. Plus, with Efficient, they offer up to 18 months, same as cash financing on your next unit. They're a diamond contractor with Mitsubishi Electric and an elite pro partner with Rheem. Go to efficienthvac.net or call 615-784-4424. And every donation this hour is going to be matched by Xander Insurance. Every donation this hour is going to be matched by Xander Insurance. So your $5 donation becomes $10, your $100 becomes $200. You know how math works. Pick up the phone, call to donate, 615-312-1500. My name is Chris Hand. I am so grateful to be joined by a Nashville Rescue Mission staff member. Her name is Crystal. But your story doesn't start working here. Your story starts at the Nashville Rescue Mission. When, Crystal?
It was actually, I was brought here January the 8th of 2021, but I was arrested in November 5th of 2020.
So walking into the Nashville Rescue Mission looked a lot different than it looks today walking into the Nashville Rescue Mission.
It does in a physical sense, but like I was telling you, well, whenever we were talking, the spiritual aspect, it still looks the same, hope. When I came in, I had came from a jail. Well, I came through many jails, and had a lot of obstacles I was facing, in my life, and a big mess God was going to have to be helping me mop up. And He supernaturally spoke to me, and I kept seeing the word hope, and a heart, the heart symbol. Well, I had saw that before I got arrested, months and months before. Well, when I got brought here, I did not know that it was called the Hope Center for the women. With their emblem on the building was the big red heart with the cross in it. And He told me that's why you were seeing there's always hope in the heart. I mean, it was like He spoke it in my spirit without words. And I just broke down with an overwhelming gratefulness. So in that aspect, it may look physically different, but it's still hope.
Now, what were you addicted to when you came in here?
Methamphetamines, and I had been addicted to, well, we're recovering addicts, but you do have to fight it every day. But at that time, it was more for meth was the trouble that I had. But in the past, I would just flip-flop, between alcohol and meth.
And that's so hard to get through. That's one of the hardest drugs to quit. So how did the Nashville Rescue Mission help you conquer those demons?
Well, like I was saying earlier, that first and foremost, that it's the Lord. It's the love of the Lord.
Amen.
And His hand is the people, the women that I work with, I let them know you are not here by accident. You are supernaturally chosen by God to be rescued. It's not a play on words. This is the rescue mission because he brought you here in a rescue. And when He brought me here and he laid the pathway out for it. But through the program, I gained a sense of self-worth. They loved me with the hands and feet of Jesus. They encouraged me. They knew what I was going through. They fed me. They gave me classes. They pushed me closer to the Lord. And it was just guidance and just love,
Well, and I think one of the things that stands out to me is you said the classes. It wasn't just about conquering your demons. It was about what the next step was in your life.
Yes, and where it's a long-term program, like you said, like the classes, they're to get you footing. Like one of my problems in my past, because I had actually been an addict off and on for over 20-something years.
Wow.
And I have just I would get clean, but I couldn't really stay clean, or I would,
well, relapse is so hard,
Yes.
and everybody, it seems like so many people that have battled with addiction have also battled with relapse.
Yes, yes.
It seems like those two go hand in hand.
Yes.
What made it different for you this time?
I had never been through a program like this. I had a lot of times tried to do it on my own. I had my children, which they're listening. I just wanted to say hey to them. They're the light of my life, and they were good enough. They're so important to me. But people sometimes look at addicts with a they're like, well, why can't you just get sober? Why can't you do this? Why can't you have kids to take care of? It's a very, very hard thing, and I don't really know. I'm kind of at a loss for words right now, but they just gave me hope, and they gave me tools here that helped me go hand in hand with, yes, my kids, my life, what God wants me to do, but they gave me the ability to learn and get tools under my belt to make it stick to where I could apply that to like relationships with my children, how to stay sober, how to keep from relapsing, things like that. So,
How's your relationship with your children today?
it's wonderful. It's wonderful. I can never fix what I had broken, but God, He's using this. My kids are wonderful kids. They are so respectful and God-fearing, and they're just precious. And because of what they've seen, they're going to be good men. And my daughter, she's going to be a good lady. And no one's good but God, but it just makes you different when you've seen it from that side. And like I heard you this morning on the radio in one of the interviews, when someone you love is affected by addiction and why can't you get sober? It just tears you apart inside. And when you're the addict, it tears you apart inside.
Well, it seems like sometimes, especially I've dealt with a lot of friends and family that have dealt with addiction. Mm-hmm. It seems like to a certain point you're almost mourning the living.
Yeah, basically so.
Are your kids? Did your kids feel like they were mourning you while you were addicted?
I'm sure they did. My whole family. I have heard a lot of people. But thank God, like I said, but God and His grace, because now I get to be. It's amazing when you're someone that can be trusted, can be relied upon. Like I was telling you in my job now, these girls depend on me. I need them like they need me. We need each other.
Well, a lot of times through recovery, it seems like the people that end up being the elder statesmen in recovery need the new ones just as much as they, needed the people that helped them get sober.
That's right.
Are your kids proud of you today?
Yes, I sure hope so. I believe so.
I'm sure that they are. To come from what you've come from and to basically conquer this, and it seems like you're almost, it's always an everyday battle, but it seems like you're almost coming out on the other side now.
Yes, yeah.
How does that feel?
It's amazing. Life isn't about material things, but I want to give glory to God because in 2020, when I had all these felonies, I was in debt, I'd been on the run, lost custody, had no home, all this. I'm now 3 years sober. I've worked here going on 2.5. I have a restored relationship with my kids. I can be trusted. There are no felony convictions. I have a bank account, a place to live, 2 cars, a fiance. I've had a promotion. I've got to give my testimony. I get to show, it's like I said, not material things, but God cares for us. And He let me know when I was in jail, he even told me He was going to bring me to a city. I saw a skyline, and I knew it was either Chattanooga or Nashville in my mind, and He brought me to Nashville. So,
wow.
But that He really cares for us. And so that's what we do. You can't keep what you don't give away. In this aspect, the spiritual, and that's what we do here at the Nashville Rescue Mission. We give hope. We tell others what God has done for us, He'll do for them.
And you can see God moving in this place. You can see God moving in Crystal's life, and I hope that you hear it coming through, and I hope that it makes you realize how special the Nashville Rescue Mission is and how your donations are so critical. They are mission critical to what is being done here. And we hope that you donate now, 615-312-1500. Every donation is being matched by Xander Insurance this hour, 615-312-1500. Crystal, what would you tell somebody who is thinking about donating today, why it's so important to donate to the Nashville Rescue Mission?
Because, almost everybody's affected by addiction one way or another.
Yep.
And you never know when it's going to be your son or daughter, or it could be your sister, yourself. God forbid, we hope not. But it's places like this where people who love the Lord and they are the hands and feet of Jesus, that's going to be the rescue. it's well worth it. You're changing lives. It was a change for mine. Restoring families. There are children here. Aside from the programs, we have moms and children, and we have men and just women they just need help. It's not a handout, it's a hand up.
Is it hard for you working here now to see a lot of the darkness? Does it stir up past memories of your recovery process, or do you look at it in a sense of hope?
I look at it in a sense of hope. That's something I wanted to say earlier, that I realized God allowed me to walk through those dark times, and He held my hand for this reason. I needed those nuggets of wisdom, so that way I don't react to things the way I once did from a
Yep.
a fleshly standpoint. Now, when we see someone hurt people, sometimes hurt people. So, or if there's a guest that's very upset, or a program participant that is really just not getting it, a lot of times it's just they don't have that spiritual set of eyes yet. They have not been open to what they're going through, and He allows us to use our wisdom to help them. So yeah, it's
Well,
good thing.
and for me, I always say God won't waste your pain.
No.
It doesn't seem like He's wasting your pain.
No, I'm grateful for every hard thing I've been through, because it makes me who I am.
Does the hard stuff you've been through help you when you're mentoring somebody else coming
Yes.
into the Nashville Rescue
Yes.
Mission?
Yes.
Do you feel like being able to connect with them on that level of losing your kids is almost an asset to you now?
Yes, it is. That's exactly what I'd call it. Yes, it is, because they know that you understand them. You can't hardly train or help someone and teach them if you don't know. You can't teach what you ain't been through,
Yep.
So,
Do you think that you would be looking at 3 years sober without the Nashville
No.
Rescue Mission?
no,
Where do you think you would be if you didn't have the Rescue Mission in your life?
dead. Yeah, dead. I know that. That was probably that. God also told me, in my spirit, that's why I saw a lot of supernatural things. He just he showed it big and showed out for me. But He also, I believe, in a loving way, let me know that I was on a very dark path, and I was very close to. He let me know, I'm not going to let you dig your own grave. He put me in the back of that cop car, and He told me, I love you. There was even a song that played, and it's like He told me in my spirit, I'm talking to you. Listen to the radio. And we've tried to find this song, and we can't. But anyways, He said in the lyrics, I know you're going to be mad at me, but I know what's best for you. And I gave my life back to Him that night in the cop car, and I just knew it's like it was so much comfort. And He told me, I am going to help you, and I'm going to do big things with this, but I'm going to need you to use it. It's amazing.
I love it. I love listening to your testimony. It just feels so raw and real.
Yes.
What would you tell somebody that's struggling with addiction today?
There is always hope, and hope lives here. So come here, and for the ones who are not addicts or just wanting to possibly donate to help and do their part so generously, that hope does live here for them too. To please donate, because you never know the ripple effect that you're gonna cause, and in a good way, who you're gonna help save.
It's amazing, and I love hearing that your kids are proud of you and that you've restored that relationship with them. And none of that's possible without the mission.
No, it's not. I had even lost my license and everything. I mean, God I never missed a beat. Once He set me on that path to restoration, spiritually, mentally, and physically, with the help of the mission, I never missed a beat.
Well, and it's like your life, Crystal, gets back on track, and then that positive ripple hits your kids.
Yes.
And then that transforms their life.
Yeah.
It doesn't just start and end with one person
No.
here at the mission.
Nope.
It's a continuous ripple effect out.
Right.
I love that, and I'm super proud of you. 3 years
Thank
is nothing to shake a stick at. Overcoming addiction to meth is so hard, and you should be so proud of yourself. I'm so happy that you have that relationship with your kids back.
Thank you.
Yeah, congratulations.
Thank you.
Like there's a lot of hard work that goes into that.
Yeah.
What did the hard work look like for you? What was the hardest parts of conquering your addictions?
Was, a lot of us, when we get here, we want to go back home or kind of go back to the comfortable or what we knew. Maybe not really the comfortable, but
People, places, and things.
Yes, that right there. And God, that's something that He used the rescue mission for. He built a whole new life for me here through coming here and sitting still. It was early morning wake ups. It was chore every day, classes, prayer. So I would start my day with coffee at about 4 a.m. And my quiet time with Jesus. And I studied His Word. I learned. I was teachable. I prayed for Him to just open me up, Lord, and take out the flesh, take out Crystal, and put back in your spirit and what you want. Mold me like clay. And that was the hard part. But I mean, it worked. It was 7 months. And before I knew it, it's like you're not looking like, oh, I'm ready to get out or I'm ready to graduate. Don't look at it like that. That's something else I don't want the girls ever looking at it like. But that was the hard part because I've never been able to sit still. So I'm kind of known for being fast around here, lightning fast. They're like, she's all over the place here, working. But I finally, at 37-year-old, when I got in all this trouble, and then when I got brought to the mission, I finally got sat down and told, be still, know that I am God. He taught me how to do it,
I love that. And it looks like you're trusting the process here.
Yes.
You're working the steps. You're doing everything you need to do.
Yes. I'd also like to say, too, that I get to be a part of not only these girls going through their program, but there are some of our girls that I was with that worked with me in their program, me as a staff. I've got to see graduate, come and get hired and work with me, get promotions, get their children back, get apartments, get cars. I watched their life change, just like I asked God, do for them what you did for me, but bigger. And I see it happen in front of my eyes, and it's just like, who cannot get up every day like it's like a Christmas present? Every day's a Christmas present for me.
You can walk around here and see the fruit of the hard work.
Yes.
And the fruit that's bearing here at the Nashville Rescue Mission. And I encourage you, if you're listening, to take a look around the Nashville Rescue Mission. Come in for a tour. Go to the website, NashvilleRescueMission.org. Find out how you can get involved. And if that way for you is donating today, we ask you to do so. Call the John Bouchard and Sons donation hotline, 615-312-1500. We got about 10 minutes left for Zander Insurance to be matching donations this hour. 10 minutes for your donation to be doubled by Zander Insurance. So call 615-312-1500. Crystal, I want to just say thank you again for sharing your story, sharing your testimony, and being so open with us about what you've gone through and what you've seen.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you so
pleasure.
much. I'm so impressed with you, and I'm so happy for you and your kids.
Thank you.
So big. 615-312-1500 is the number to call in and donate. Again, less than 10 minutes left for Zander Insurance to match your donations. If you have not donated yet, you are running out of time for it to be doubled by our friends at Zander Insurance. So pick up the phone, call the John Bouchard and Sons donation hotline right now, 615-312-1500. That's 615-312-1500. It's the Hunger to Hope Radiothon benefiting the Nashville Rescue Mission right here on Supertalk 99.7 WTN.
Java that you left on the floor over here?
It's 11:53 on Supertalk 99.7 WTN. It's our Hunger to Hope Radiothon benefiting the Nashville Rescue Mission. I'm so grateful to be just such a small part of this and talk with the people here who have had their lives completely transformed by the Nashville Rescue Mission. They help over 800 men, women, and children daily. They serve over 1,600 meals each day. The work they're doing here is incredible, and we thank you for calling in to donate and to help these guys do even more. The number to call to donate, 615-312-1500. You have until 12 o'clock. Xander Insurance is going to continue matching donations until 12 o'clock, so about 6 minutes for you to call, 615-312-1500. I'm joined now by Matt Murphy, and I love what you said a minute ago about how this really is a celebration, what we're doing here.
Yeah, and, it occurred to me as I was listening to you and Dan, what a great job you guys have done this morning. We'll try to carry the baton this afternoon with my show and Brian Wilson. I mean, it's a team effort, obviously, at Supertalk, and it really is. It's a celebration of Nashville Rescue Mission. It's also a celebration to be of America, and I'm not trying to oversell it when I say that this is the way that things ought to go. If we talk every day about rights, about our liberties and our freedoms, and ensuring our liberties and our freedoms to live a life of our choosing. Well, if we want to guarantee that moves forward, we have to do the responsible things with regard to the least of these in our country to help benefit those people. I know that our hearts and our spirits go out to those who are suffering and in need. You need to open those wallets as well, and it ultimately becomes a selfish act, because when you do that, when you open your wallet and give selfishly, what comes back to you, just the enjoyment of the giving process itself, but two, to ensure that we're doing this the right way. I've heard you talking about it this morning, Chris. It matters that there's no federal government money coming into this facility.
Oh, it's huge. 3/4 of the funding is direct from individuals like you listening. 3/4 of it.
Can I talk about some of those people right now?
Yes, please.
I have a big tote board update to give you before you get off air, Chris. Barbara McGee called in, gave in honor of her daughter, Melissa. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Barbara.
Melissa called in to give in honor of the late, great Phil Valentine.
Thanks, Mel.
We've got the dog lover, cat lover thing going on.
Okay.
I love that. My tote board says 4 donations for dogs, 1 donation for cats. So, that's where we are, at least in my small time back in the tally room. Brett is giving in honor of Dan's mom. God bless Ms. Mandis.
Yes.
Roy donating in memory of his wife, who always donated, said that this does my heart so good. He said he lives paycheck to paycheck, but he wants to remember his wife, who donated every year, and he wants to donate as well. How about that?
God bless them.
Amen.
Well, and it's like you can not have a lot of money and still make a big difference. Just $2.85 is one meal.
That's exactly right. And I love the way that they do it. They help compartmentalize it for us. But as you have reminded us all morning long, obviously, the $2.85, it goes to a meal, but it also goes to support the facility. It goes for the building of the Women's and Children's Center. It goes for so much more than just that one meal. That is a pathway that opens, right? And I've always looked at it over the years that I've done this, even before Nashville Rescue Mission. When I was in Birmingham, we worked with a local mission called Jimmy Hale. And it was said to me years ago that the meal is just the opening of a doorway. Mm-hmm. And beyond that doorway is anything that you want to make it, as long as you believe that you can do it and as long as you have that support structure around you to do it. And so it really just opens up a conversation for folks who want to change their conditions and change the way that they're living. So I love it. And by the way, it is said to me, and we've only got 3 minutes to do it, that we really want to get $3,000 more by noon.
Yes, and all donations, we got 2 minutes left. Donations that come in before noon are matched by Xander Insurance.
And so the tote, as of about 5 or so minutes ago, was, big drum roll, $122,457.97.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much.
That is almost 43,000 meals already, and we are halfway done as of 12 noon. So we got a big push for this afternoon. We're going to blow the roof off of our record donation.
God is not done working here at the Nashville Rescue Mission. We have a lot more to go.
Absolutely, and I'm so excited about this day. I mean, it's different. We love what we do on Supertalk 99.7 WTN. I think I can speak to the entire crew.
Amen.
And we love getting into the nuts and bolts of the issues affecting the United States of America and how to make America a better place. Here is where I feel like we tried to put rubber to road to a certain degree and really meet those people that need from those of us who have enjoyed the blessings and liberty of the United States, meet those people that need a little something to lift themselves up, whether it be in spirit or in food, whatever we can do. So
Yep, and less than a minute for Xander Insurance to match your donations this hour. Less than 1 minute. So call in and donate now. 615-312-1500. Less than a minute for Xander Insurance to match your donation this hour. 615-312-1500. I'm going to pass the baton to Matt Murphy. I want to thank you, everyone, for listening and donating while I did my show. I truly appreciate it. I know the Nashville Rescue Mission appreciates it. And I'll be hanging out, doing the phone banking stuff and checking in with Murphy all afternoon long. We're not going anywhere. God is working in this building, and we thank you, Middle Tennessee, for stepping up to the plate like you always do. That's about it. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Chris Hand.
Thank you.
And I think I don't know what we're doing. Are we going to news?
We're going to jump into news, but real quick,
right.
one more time, the number 615-312-1500. Call in and donate. It's the Chris Hand Show on Supertalk 99.7 WTN.